my shorts.
To the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode... I have to pull that a bit closer today. This is episode number 41 of the program. Of course, you can join me every single Monday. The podcast goes out every Monday, but it also goes out 2 days earlier to Patreon supporters. Sorry, I should first say the podcast goes out on all podcasting platforms.
Of course,
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Audible. All of them.
All of them?
Yeah, it goes out on the Monday.
Is that all of them?
All of them.
Ooh,
plus a lot of small ones as well. So it goes out on all of them.
Don't worry about.
If you listen on that's fine.
Yeah, I suppose.
Go for it. What was I going to say? Yeah, I got a little mixed up. The show goes out on the Monday, but if you're a Patreon supporter, you can get it 2 days early over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can sign up.
Cheapy.
Yeah, Patreon.
Only $1.
Only $1.
You're a cheap ass.
I know. Patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. If you want to get that early access to the podcast. We have, of course, migrated video podcast to the second channel. So if you want to, if you're watching the video, make sure to watch it and hit subscribe, all that shit. Got to get the subs back up. Got to get the views back up so we can monetize that second channel. You can, of course, find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. Links are in the description of every single podcast. And if you want to write into the show, you can send an email to daveleepod@gmail.com.
Not one of those other ones, just that one.
Just that one.
Yeah.
If you're listening on podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating.
Only good ones.
Certainly helps, the good ones.
If you get a bad one, we'll hunt you down.
I know. Awful. Hey, we beat the music by a minute today.
Ooh, miles ahead.
I'll slowly...
Oh.
That sounds like the music.
Professional?
There you go, hey.
Cool, Jesus.
Shit, how good's that, huh?
How did you learn how to do that?
I don't know, taught it to myself.
Ooh,
just slide the little
Jesus.
thing up and down.
A very, very clever man.
I know. Hey, talking about good reviews, we got another good one this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one's come from Lewis Glover.
Lewis Glover?
Yeah.
No relation to Danny?
Don't know. Probably not.
I wonder.
Don't know. Maybe.
Might be some long distance.
Or Donald Glover, maybe.
They're related, aren't they? Are they related, Danny and Donald? No?
No relation.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Childish Gambino.
That's the one.
Love Childish Gambino.
Do you?
I do.
He's all right. He says, Lewis Glover, not Childish Gambino.
Right, okay.
Lewis Glover says...
Get that right. Don't attribute something to somebody that you don't know.
No. Lewis Glover says, a great deep podcast about movies. That's the headline. That's the subject matter. He
Might
says...
be a bit deep and meaningful coming up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He says...
D&M warning.
No. He says, Lewis Glover... He says, I love listening every week to Dave and old mate Rick's thoughtful opinions about movies. Keep up the great work.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Louis.
Appreciate it.
I'll call you Lewis. Maybe you don't like Louis.
I don't know about how deep and meaningful our chats are, but...
Maybe he says like a deep dive into thoughts.
If you enjoy it, that's great.
Yeah, thanks, Lewis.
That's what we aim to do.
I love it. I am, of course, joined by old mate Rick.
Just to take you away from reality for an hour or two.
Yeah, I should say I'm joined by old mate Rick again.
Yep, of course you are.
Co-host.
Because no one else will come on with you.
No.
Nobody likes you.
No. Talking about life and the struggles or whatever you said. If you're watching the video, you can. If you're listening, you probably hear it's just a little bit muffled. You've probably been playing around with your earpieces for a couple of minutes, going, "What the fuck's going on today?" Now, if you're watching, you know. So that's the benefits of the video podcast is you get to learn little things just a little bit earlier than everyone else.
Yep.
We are, of course, in masks today.
Not for long, though. I'm going to get this.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. We're back in lockdown. Fucking hell.
Yep.
Let's get them off, hey?
Bloody New South Wales.
All right. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm sure have we been updating them over the last few weeks? I think we
we have.
Over what's going on. New South Wales has fucking exploded. There's over 1,000 cases now.
In less than a month.
Yeah, in less than a month. And of course, it's crept over the border into Victoria because we didn't close our borders
fast enough. And some
idiots.
Oh, I was going to swear there, but I better not. Some morons.
Yes.
Moron bloody
courier drivers or something. No, were they removalists?
Furniture removalists. Crossed the border, and then they went to wherever it was. They were unloading the furniture into a house. They were there for about 4 hours in an apartment building. So the whole apartment block finished up getting locked down. The guy whose furniture it was, he wore a mask. The removalists weren't wearing masks apparently.
Allegedly,
and the guy that lived there, he was okay, but people in the building weren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
They caught it as well.
But
of course, it's a Delta strain, I think. Isn't it?
Which is a bad one.
Yeah, it's the highly contagious one.
Yeah, and of course they went globe trotting around Australia.
Yeah, they went across to South Australia and then headed home. And then they apparently aren't cooperating and helping out where they'd been. We're going to lock them up until they do. Yeah. That's my view anyway.
Disaster. So anyway, it's crept into Victoria again, and we're back in lockdown.
As of last night for another for 5 days.
5 days.
Wow. Hopefully.
Well,
last one was what they said. It was a 5-day lockdown.
Yeah, but did we have how many cases? We only had like a couple, and then they were like, "Fuck it, slam them shut."
Yeah, I can't remember how many.
Hopefully, it should only be 5 days.
Oh, I hope so.
A snap lockdown, they're
It's
calling it.
not good for people's businesses and their mental well-being.
Mental health. I'm getting exhausted. It's fucking exhausting me now. I'm over it.
And we work from home.
Exactly right, I was going to say.
I don't always work from home. But
yeah, well, you got a little bit of work here and there and you go places. But I'm always at home. But still, it's exhausting. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, hey, we're doing this next week. And it's like, no, fuck, hang on, you're not.
Yeah, bastards.
It's just like it makes things more difficult. And then it's just being able to get out is nice. To be able to just go somewhere just for a couple of hours and just be somewhere is nice.
Because we basically had all our restrictions removed for about a week.
Yeah.
And then we're back in lockdown. It's like, fuck me.
We've got 2 events coming up.
Unbelievable.
We've got 2 events coming up, and I don't know how that's going to go. We've got the preview of Dune. Yep. The new Denis Villeneuve film. I don't know. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's the new, it's like science fiction epic thing. They call the book Unfilmable, and they've tried many times. Just this huge epic science fiction thing, and it was delayed from last year, of course, pandemic. And there's been like this fight between Warner Brothers and Lionsgate, I think, who made the film.
Okay.
Warner Brothers wanted to put it day and date on HBO Max, and that Lionsgate weren't happy with it, blah, 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 all that. Anyway, so what's happening this week at the IMAX around the world is they're doing like this special preview session. 30 minutes, you get a couple of scenes from the film, the brand new trailer, a couple of little making of featurettes and stuff. And we were invited along to that by our good friends over at Warner Brothers. # Warner Brothers invited.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a public thing. It's open to public, so people are able to apply for like free tickets to go to it. But they're doing it at IMAX theatres around the world, essentially. Right. Well, I know there's in America, there's one in London, one in Melbourne. So we got tickets to that. That's Thursday. Lockdown is next week, Thursday. Lockdown's supposed to end on Tuesday night.
Not next week, this week.
Well, yeah, this week.
Because we had on Monday.
Yeah, the podcast goes out on Monday.
I always forget that.
We record on the Friday. But yeah, this week, we're supposed to be going to Dune. So hopefully we do open on Tuesday or Tuesday evening, Wednesday, whatever, and then we can get to that. If not, it's only a 30-minute session. We're going to go to the IMAX and back.
An hour's drive for a 30-minute session.
Yeah. But then the following week is the one that I've been waiting for fucking 3 years.
Yep.
Jungle Cruise.
Can't God, I hope they don't.
Jungle
I hope they
Cruise!
don't shut that one
No!
down.
If you've been listening, you know how much I'm looking forward to fucking Jungle Cruise
Yep.
and have been for 3 years. And God damn it, it'll be my luck if they're like, no, you're still in lockdown. We have to cancel Jungle Cruise. I'll be pissed off.
And you even bought a special shirt and everything.
I got a
for it,
special
didn't you?
shirt. Yeah, because they're doing the special event screening thing, and it's like a jungle chic theme. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy like a $10 jungle shirt from Cotton On. I had like birthday vouchers. I was like, fuck it, may as well use it. And then I had to spend like $20 to use the vouchers. So I bought some other shit, like a hat and whatever else anyway. So I got that, but I chose store pickup as well.
Oh, that's right.
So even if we do open, I might, who knows, it might not wind up at the store. Or
You can still do click and collect.
it is a click and collect at the store. Oh yeah, but will it still go to the store if the store's closed? That's my worry.
No, I think there'll still be staff on for click and collect. So it'll probably still go to the store.
That's all right. Well, if we can't see Jungle Cruise, I'm sure there'll be a way that I'm sure Disney will find a way for me to see it. So if I end up seeing it at home with a screen or something, I was just sitting here with my Jungle Cruise shirt, my Jungle shirt on. Quite sad. I know, I'll be so upset. Like, I'm sure that, like I said, I'm sure there'll be a way Disney Disney will find a way for me to see it early, so I can review it and everything. But I want to see it on a big screen.
Yeah.
I want to go to the cinema and see Jungle Cruise, The Rock in the jungle with Emily Blunt, and just fucking around in the jungle. I want to see it on a big screen.
Did we say Welcome to the Jungle in the
I think
cinema?
we did, yeah. All that time ago.
I was going to say, might be the first time we've seen The Rock in the jungle.
Not Jumanji,
No,
Welcome to the Jungle.
No.
Because that one that you're talking about is called The Rundown in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's called The Rundown, but here and in the UK, it was called Welcome to the Jungle. And then the sequel to Jumanji was also called Welcome to the
Jungle.
To the Jungle. And I was sure they were going to change that subtitle in the international market, but they didn't. They just left it. So The Rock. So for those out there, it's just a fun little tidbit for international listeners who might not know.
Yeah,
The Rock is in 2 movies.
Cool. Welcome to the Jungle.
But we're talking about the original one. What year? I reckon.
With what was his name?
Was Sean William Scott?
Yeah.
I just remember them fighting, like lightning and thunder or some shit.
That's
I don't know.
right.
I can't remember.
Thunder and lightning.
The Rundown. What year was that? Do you reckon?
Oh,
I reckon it has to be like 2000.
I'd say 2000. 2005, maybe?
I'd say earlier. I reckon 2003.
I'll say 5.
Let's have a look. Open it up. See, The Rundown. 2003. There you go. He's still going. He's still going by the name The Rock on that poster too.
Oh god,
that was around the time where he was trying to
change his name
to Dwayne Johnson successfully, but we still call him The Rock.
Yeah, exactly right.
And he loves it.
He'll always be The Rock.
He loves it. His show's called Young Rock, so he must.
Yeah, exactly right.
There you go. It's a good show, by the way.
That's a real good show.
We haven't been talking about that actually.
No,
we've been watching. We've watched it all. Yeah,
that was really good.
Really good. The guy that plays him. Not the young version, but the teen version is playing. Rock's doing a film called Black Adam for DC.
Right, yeah.
So he's going to play the younger version of Black Adam
because he doesn't look unlike him.
No,
he's a huge boy. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
So
does it very well.
Yeah, he does a good Rock. And I think there was even one scene where he had the bum bag, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bum bag and the turtleneck. Yeah, so good. Nice little Easter egg.
No, but if you haven't seen it, have a look.
Yeah, check that out. Great.
It's good fun.
Really good show. Fun.
Yeah.
And you used to like, or you still do. Actually, we went and bought them at JB last week. What's it called? The other show that he did? Ballers.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's a great show.
I only watched the first season. I got to watch the rest.
No, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And that, I think they were canned too early.
Yes.
Well, cancelled too early, I think.
5 seasons.
I can't remember. Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah, I think it was 5.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
but that was good fun. I enjoyed that one.
I have to check it out. We bought it all. Yeah. Buy one, get one free on all television. Was it buy 2, get one free? Buy 2, get one free plus 30%, 35%?
Well, it was 30% plus the extra 5% voucher they sent us.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
It's nice. So we went and I went trouncing around to all the JBs around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was I? I was at work.
You were here you were cleaning up or something. Oh, that was the night people were coming over.
Oh, that's right.
So you would clean and shit. And I was like, well, I have to go to JB because the deal's ending today. So I went run around to JB in the morning and then came home and helped out around the house. So anyway, back in lockdown. Might not get to see Jungle Cruise on the big screen. That's my biggest takeaway from this.
Oh.
No, we have to keep safe.
You'd love to see that on the big screen. That'll look great on the big screen.
That'll be great. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait.
But hopefully we'll at least get a screener for it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we will. Like I said, but and if that's the case, that's fine. I mean, you got to lock down.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll always support the lockdowns. Like, get it early. Do what you got to do. It's just at this point. This is lockdown number 5 for us in Melbourne. It's exhausting now.
5.0, Dave.
5.0 is the calling it on the news. The news called it 5.0.
5.0. It's 5. We're not going to have a 5.1 or 5.2.
Yeah, so
the next one will be 6.0.
Yeah, well, because everyone was calling the last one 4.0 as like a joke. Oh, lockdown 4.0. And now the news is
wankers.
So stupid. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. But if we have to find another way to watch Jungle Cruise, that's fine.
It'll happen.
I'll see it.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. So excited for it. Could you tell?
Can I tell? You wouldn't go and bought a bloody shirt for it if you weren't.
I'll be the only one, I guarantee it. You wait. I don't care. I'll wear my Jungle Cruise shirt.
I've got camo cap and I've got camo shirts and camo pants. I'll just wear camo.
That'll do, yeah. What else have we been watching this week? Let's have a look. I watched a bunch of old movies this week, and people don't care that much. I watched some John Wayne ones, which is always the same.
Which one did you say?
I watched one called Pittsburgh, which was all right. It was actually, I will talk about this one. He's like this miner guy. He's like a miner. Not under 16. No, he's not a miner. He's down in the mines.
Someone digging for coal.
Yeah, digging for coal.
Or gold.
It's not like 6-year-old John Wayne. No, it's like he's down. I
wonder what a 6-year-old John Wayne would have been like.
I'm sure there's pictures.
Probably.
Sure. Yeah, so John Wayne...
His mum would have been yelling at him, coming for dinner. Marion, come in for dinner.
Yeah, that's right. Marion, that's right. I was going to say, yeah, so he's like full-grown John Wayne. He's a miner down in the things. Anyway, him and his mate decide to leave their jobs as miners and... he become like this big business magnate. And in the end, he ends up like fucking over his business partner. He fucks over the girl. He fucks over everyone and becomes like a real jerk. And then at the end of the movie, the last act of the movie turns into this fucking propaganda film. So obviously it was like made in 1942, so during the war, just this full twist into this propaganda film where the war breaks out and oh shit, suddenly he has like this change of conscience and has to like make all these changes with his business and you know, makes friends with the guy again and wins the girl back and all this shit and they're all happy at the end. It's like fucking hell. This massive like bait and switch like propaganda movie. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was pretty crap. It's pretty melodramatic. I was thinking melodrama and then you get to this propaganda, like the last like 30 minutes, 20 minutes is like proper full-on propaganda film. It was like, fucking hell. And it's got like this voiceover throughout the movie too. Crazy. I can imagine going to the cinemas back in the day and then you just get fucking baited like that. Oh, it's actually a propaganda movie? Jesus. Anyway, one of those just weird little things. I watched a couple of... I can't even remember the names of them now. 2 of them were with Marlena Dietrich. Dietrich. Quite good. I really like her. I've never really watched any of her stuff before until recently. I bought a couple of her box sets. So I've just kind of working my way through a couple of her films. I really like them. She's really quite good. We watched one with her in
Bombshell in her day, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was like one of the first.
Yep.
Her and James Stewart we watched in Destry Rides Again a few weeks ago, which is really quite good.
Yeah.
But
love him too. Yeah. Love James Stewart.
James Stewart's my favourite. Yeah. So a couple of them. Actually, you watched an old one with me last weekend. Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
Did I?
Guy dies, and they accidentally take his soul a little bit too early.
Right, yeah.
And they have to put him in another body. Yeah. Really good. Yeah, really good. Actually,
it was
really
good fun.
Quite funny.
It'd be good to see that remade, to be honest.
They've remade it many times.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
One called... Well, they made a follow-up to it in the... I guess it was like 40s, and they made a follow-up to it a couple of years later called Down to Earth, which had Rita Hayworth in it, where she's like a goddess or like some sort of like, and then she comes down to Earth into a human body. Right. And that was sort of like the sort of spiritual follow-up to it.
Yep.
But they remade Here Comes Mr. Jordan as Down to Earth with Chris Rock.
That's right. Yeah.
So they remade Here Comes Mr. Jordan but gave it the name of the sequel.
It was 90s?
Had to be like late 90s, maybe early 2000s. And they also did one in like, I guess, the 70s, maybe a bit earlier with Warren Beatty called Heaven Can't Wait.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't realise that was a remake of that.
Yeah, there you go. Or Heaven Can't Wait. That's coming out on Blu-ray in a couple of months over in the States. I haven't bought it, yeah. Look forward to seeing that.
Awesome.
I remember seeing the Chris Rock one years ago. But yeah, that was really good. I really, really liked it. Like a drama, comedy, sort of just charming. Loved it. I watched a really weird one yesterday called The List of Adrian Messenger. Bizarre.
I didn't even know that one.
I've just discovered all these really fucking weird old movies. This one is probably, I would say, early 50s, if not late 40s. Now look, List of Adrian Messenger. Oh, it's fucking 63. There you go. It's weird. It's got a huge cast in it. Tony Curtis, Kirk Douglas, Robert Mitchum, Burt Lancaster, Frank Sinatra, George C. Scott, and they're all covered in makeup, like crazy makeup, like prosthetic shit. Oh, shit. And the twist, the mystery was supposed to be, we don't know who these actors are in the makeup. Try and figure it out. Meanwhile, their names are plastered all over the poster and in the opening credits of the movie. But what happens at the end is they have like, the movie ends and then it goes, is it really the end? And then there's all these clips of them like taking the prosthetics off, so it's like an unmasking. It was actually Frank Sinatra the whole time. And say that was Kirk Douglas. But the thing is, I was reading into it and they actually weren't in the movie. They had body doubles come in and do their parts. I'm watching and I looked on IMDb. I probably shouldn't have because I didn't realize it's supposed to be such a mystery. But I was on IMDb like who is playing who. And I'm going, that's not Frank Sinatra. I was thinking, there's no way. Thinking that makeup is fantastic. Voice didn't sound like him, like so good. And then I find out that they were actually doubled by other actors in the actual movie. But different actors came in and did overdubs. And then this thing at the end where they're pulling the mask off, it's just fucking fake. And they all pocketed like $75,000 each to come in and just do this thing where they peel off a mask and fucking stooged everyone into thinking, oh shit, I was watching Frank Sinatra the whole time. You weren't. It wasn't him. Anyway, I just thought it was so stupid. I thought it was a really stupid movie. Didn't like it.
Movie magic.
Yeah, I know. Didn't like it. It was boring too. Other than that, it's like such a gimmick. The only one who actually played, Kirk Douglas, he gets unmasked pretty early in the movie. But then there's still a mystery. Who's the bad guy? Even though you know it's fucking Kirk Douglas. Yeah. And for the rest of the hour and a half, they're still trying to play up, who is it? Anyway, so him and I think, was it Robert Mitchum plays the character throughout the movie as well. Yeah. But they both have two pretty predominant roles in the movie. Whereas the rest, they just kind of wander in every now and then. Like Tony Curtis, in quotation marks, is like a guy that just rolls down the street with like one of those organ machines and shit. God. So they just kind of walk. It's such a fucking weird movie. God. Anyway, I don't usually go.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it until recently. Who? Shock just released that on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't usually talk about like the really old stuff that I watch, but I found some really weird things this week. Interesting to touch on. Right. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. I watched. We had people over for my birthday over the weekend. I had a bit to drink. Didn't get drunk. Didn't get drunk, didn't overdo it. I was maybe a little bit tipsy. And when everyone went home, I was like, fuck, I feel like some Eddie Murphy. I just feel like watching Eddie. I don't know. I was in this mood where I was like, I want to watch an Eddie Murphy movie. So I put on The Golden Child, which is one I got on Blu-ray recently, which is one that Random Space Media put out on Blu-ray. It's available in the US and the UK, but Random Space Media put it out here. Wasn't as good as I remember it to be.
Yeah, I don't... it's been a while since I watched it. Last time I watched it, I thought it didn't date very well.
No, it was really badly dated. It's like his fantasy adventure thing where he's like the chosen one. He's plucked out of like obscurity to go over into like the Himalayas or wherever to like save the golden child from all these like monsters and shit. It's like this full-on serious like fantasy movie, and I don't think it was written as a comedy, but then they hired Eddie Murphy for it, and he just ad-libs his way through it. And he's very, very funny in it. But the rest, it just doesn't quite match up, doesn't quite. I remember watching it as a kid and really liking it, but it's one that maybe I wish I hadn't. Wasn't
that show we watched last night? They were having a movie night on the thing.
Oh,
and the kids said, "Oh, is there any Eddie Murphy films I haven't watched?"
Yeah.
Then they show the next scene and they're watching Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Eddie Murphy wasn't in that.
Yeah.
That was a bit odd.
Strange.
It's funny you bring up Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
But his stuff, I love Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's great
stuff, but some of them,
some of his
just haven't dated.
Some of his really early stuff, you go back and you're like, but he's always.
I mean, most of his stuff hasn't dated well, but most of it's still really watchable.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
good fun.
Yeah,
like Trading Places.
He's my favourite. Coming to America
and Beverly Hills and all that sort of stuff are great films.
We didn't get around to watching any newish movies this week.
No.
Because the weekend was packed.
Yep.
Packed
We've
weekend.
had a bit on.
A lot on. So anyway, that's why we kind of took a deep dive into the catalogue titles this week. No newish movies at all. Television, the show that you were just talking about, where they were talking about Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
It's called Defending Jacob.
Yep. Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America's in it. Chris Evans.
Well, not as Captain America.
Yeah, not as Captain America. It's not a Marvel series
no.
that you've missed somehow. It's like an Apple TV Plus series, mini-series, 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. We've watched 6 so far.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Really great.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's, I don't know how old it is. I think last year maybe. We're still slowly...
I think it's 2019, I think.
Oh, was it? Oh,
I think.
Well, there you go. Still slowly working our way back through the stuff that's on Apple TV. It's great stuff. I swear, the quality of the Apple...
2020, last year.
Well, there you go. The quality of the Apple TV Plus stuff is just like the best out of all the streaming services, I think.
Haven't sort of really hit a bad one, have we?
No, but they just don't advertise, and I hear it from everyone. Like, I can't find shit on the service. It's just
hard to find it. Yeah. Hard to find shit on that.
And what annoys me now is that we got the Apple TV box because that is the easiest way for us to stream everything in here.
Yep.
You get all the streaming service on there, and then you go into the Apple TV app, and it's like combines all the streaming services into the one app.
Yeah.
So it makes it even harder to find the Apple TV originals. And I know there's a little thing up the top, which is like you slide across, and it's the Apple TV Plus logo, and it pulls up all the Apple TV Plus stuff, but it's not in any real kind of easy way to find. It's just a really weird app to kind of navigate.
Because things like, what's it called, Netflix and stuff, like it's all categorised. It's like you got all your TV shows, new stuff, and you got movies, and you got different genres of movies and all that sort of stuff. So it's fairly easy to find all that. But Apple TV Plus,
it's just really, and I hear that from everyone. But I think a lot of people have missed the fact that you can slide across to the Apple TV Plus section.
Right.
And once you go over there, it makes it a little bit easier, but it's still just a really clunky system, I think. Yeah. And they don't advertise their shit properly. That's also a big thing. They need better people. They need a better PR strategy, really, to try and promote their shit. The only one you really hear about is Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Really. That's the only one I've seen ads for on TV, maybe. And that Rose Byrne one, they advertised the shit out of that when that came on.
That was, what's it called? That's the exercise one.
Yeah, Physical.
Physical,
right. Which we haven't watched yet. That'll be next because they do one a week, don't they, Apple TV?
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for that
series
to finish.
Wait until the end and then we'll just binge it all in about a week.
Best
way to do it.
So that's been good.
Yeah.
His kid gets sort of, what do you call it?
Charged. Accused of a murder.
He hasn't been charged yet.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been charged.
Yeah, of course.
Trial
he's going for trial, of course. Yeah. For murder.
Yeah. So what do you reckon? Did he do it?
I don't know. I'm like...
It's really hard to pick whether he did it or...
It's great too because you've got his two parents. One is Captain America.
Yep.
Steve Rogers.
Yep.
Fucking fuck's sake. God's sake. Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Dockery plays the mother.
Yeah.
And Chris Evans is on his side. He's on the kid's side, whereas the mother is starting to he's questioning whether maybe the kid did do it. So the interesting thing is you've got the two dynamics at play, and then you as the viewer are kind of like, "Wow, fuck, who do I?"
And Chris Evans' character is a public prosecutor too.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So it's
So you kind of think like, yeah, it's great though. Won't spoil too much, but there's like a few like nice little twists and some people that show up in there that you're not expecting to show up.
Yeah.
And then, it's a fun ride. It's like a really cool, like little murder mystery sort of like thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Like it.
Really enjoy it.
Really like it. So next week we will have finished it and we'll deliver the verdict on what we thought of the whole show.
Yeah, but enjoying it now.
Yeah, very good.
But I can't pick it.
I
can't pick whether he did it or whether he didn't do it or
yeah.
You watch and see some scenes, you think, oh, yeah, that kid's guilty. And then you look at other scenes, you think, maybe it's that kid that did it. Or
it's good fun. I'm very much enjoying it. I like a good like little murder mystery thing.
Yeah, and it's good to see him in something a bit different too.
Yeah.
And not just being Captain America.
Captain America, yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
no, really good. And the woman playing his wife's fantastic.
Yeah, she's very good. She hasn't been in a lot. We've seen her in a few movies. She was in... she's in a series called, you'll know it. The name has escaped me. They're like aristocrats, like English aristocrats, and they live in a big mansion and shit.
No idea.
You'll know it.
Downton Abbey?
Yes.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. I want to watch it.
I've never watched it.
I want to watch it.
Nah.
I don't know why.
Not for me.
I want to watch it.
Not for me.
I don't know why. I remember talking to Alicia about age ago. She doesn't like it, but she's like, I think that's like something you'll enjoy. I was like, yeah, probably. It's got good people in it. Like, the actors are really good. That's what's got me. Like, I know
a couple of people that watch it and
really like
enjoy it. I
think Ben loves it. One of my cousins. He loves it. And then it's got Lily James is in it, who I really like. And the main guy, I can't remember who he is, but he's in it, and he's great. And I don't know. I probably won't ever watch it, but it's something that I think I would probably enjoy if I watched it.
I just look at it and think, I could not do that.
Let us know. Should that be our next?
Oh, no. Don't put that out there. We don't own any of it anyway, so we can't.
I know.
And I'm not going to go buy that shit.
No.
It's bad enough having to spend money on that other crap we just finished.
Awful. Yeah, we'll get to that. What else am I talking about? We didn't watch much else. That was really it. We watched. We've been watching. Actually, we enjoy our like trashy, reality shows.
Oh yeah,
and we've just had The Apprentices done, Big Brother's done, and now we're like, yes, finally, the reality shit's out of the way. We can actually get to watching some proper TV. Spend more time watching. Of course, Beauty and the Geek. This week. It's so good.
It's hilarious.
First time we've ever watched it. I think this is like the 6th or 7th season they've done, Australian one. But it's the first one.
I think I might have watched it when you were overseas, maybe.
Don't know, maybe. I think I'm sure I've seen bits of the British one before.
Right.
But I've never watched the Australian one because it's always on Channel 7.
Yeah.
I don't traditionally watch Channel 7.
No.
But it's on 9 now.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden we're like, oh, this will be good. It's been on for 7 years. So yeah, it's good fun. It's a bit of fun. Other than that, we've been watching that, and then we've been watching sort of in the evening The Planets. We like our documentary stuff. I love my BBC Earth stuff. Yep. This is the latest Brian Cox series from like 2 years back.
Yeah, it's
The Planets.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Geez, didn't know a lot of that shit that he talks about.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Well, how are you going to know? You don't study it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny because you'd never really... Because he goes through the whole history of every planet and, like, talks about every planet in great detail, things we've learned from taking images and stuff, and the special effects, the computer graphics are fantastic. Transports you to the planets. And then he goes to places on Earth that resemble the planet.
Yep.
But you never really think about, they would know all this stuff about the planets. All you ever hear is like, Jupiter's up there, there's Saturn with the rings and shit. That's all you know.
Yeah.
And you never really even think
the history of it all.
That they know how that planet was created and how that planet affected the creation of this planet. Or anyway, it's just completely fascinating. I think it's really great.
And the thing that fascinated, because we watched what was last night, Jupiter.
Yeah,
it was Jupiter and how how influential the formation of Jupiter was in the creation of Earth.
Yeah, so
and you just don't think about it.
No. Yeah.
And you sort of, and it's probably because you've got the four closest, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. They're all rocky planets, of course, and the rest are gaseous planets, the big ones. And it was probably the timing of, the conclusion was it was probably the timing of the formation of Jupiter that allowed Earth to form the way it did.
Yeah.
3.5
billion years ago, something like that. 4 billion years.
Something like that.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah,
but it's good. I really like Brian Cox. I've watched, I think, all of his series, bar maybe one. And I just love how he explains it to you like you're a child.
Oh, yeah, I need that.
So he sits there and he's like, pulls out a bunch of rocks. He's like, now imagine these rocks are the planets. And imagine these rocks here is the asteroid belt. Like, yeah. I love it. But he does it. It's not like in a condescending way.
No.
They just know.
Just
like
real simple terms.
You have to really and it's a good just visual explanation. Here's a bunch of rocks. These are the planets.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I'm like, oh, yeah, great. Yeah. And that's what I like about his stuff is just very he knows that what he's talking about is just fucking...
way over the top
of everyone.
Little heads.
So it's great. Really good. I picked that one up at the JB Hi-Fi sale. I've been waiting for it to come down in price for 2 years on Blu-ray. Because the BBC stuff used to be quite cheap on Blu-ray. It would always be in a 2 for $20 deal or something. But the distribution has gone to Universal Sony now. And the BBC stuff is just always really expensive and never goes on sale.
Yeah.
So when it was part of the buy two, get one free plus 35% off, I was like, I'll grab that.
Grab it.
And there's another series that I grabbed too called Serengeti.
Oh, yeah.
Which is narrated by John Boyega.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, be interesting to have a look at. So I'm up to date on my BBC stuff now. And also I got...
You got a bit of it.
Oh, I've got so much. I've got all of it that's available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So much of it. And I'm definitely up to date now because kicks.com.au sent me A Perfect Planet on 4K recently.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Check that one out next. 4K and the big new 4K telly which arrived.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, me too. I think a couple episodes left. We watched 3.
Yeah, something like that. So what do we still... What the next one will be? Will it Saturn? It has to be Saturn.
Probably, yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how that formed and why it has the rings and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That will be interesting.
I think the rings are asteroids, are they not? Or am I wrong?
Well, they're not hemorrhoids. I don't know what they are.
Sake. I think the rings are just I think it's just like a belt of asteroids. I could be fucking completely wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll find out this week and report back.
It's probably what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Yes, that's good. What I like about them too, these BBC things, there's really sleepy show, and if you put on really late, just put you kind of go to sleep a little bit. The music's nice, and they're talking to you really nice, and it makes you think too. It's just you get very philosophical in your own head, I'm so insignificant.
It's fun. As I said the other night, the Earth's been around for what,
billions of years,
3.5 billion or 4.5 billion, whatever it was, and they reckon it's dying.
Yeah,
it'll be dead in another 75 million years or something.
Yeah,
we might be.
Yeah,
and you just realise how insignificant you actually are when you sort of hear those figures, and you think for the 60 to 100 years that we're on this planet, most of us are on this planet. Yeah, it's a blink of an eye.
Then what gets me every time is there are this many billion stars in our galaxy. And then there's another galaxy, and there's billions of galaxy with billions of stars inside the galaxy. And then you just kind of go, I'm so fucking insignificant. I'm piece of...
And every star has their own planet circulating around.
Nice.
There has to be another...
Oh, God, I have no doubt in my mind. I'm not a theoretical physicist. I'm not any kind of scientist or any of that bullshit. There's fucking life out there.
Oh, yeah.
This is turning a conspiracy show now.
Well, you can't say that even Mars, for argument's sake, that was once covered in water.
Well, yeah. Well, there's ice there.
You can't tell me there wasn't life of some form, whether it be plant life or
Yeah. Well, what he
Whatever.
said at the end of the episode yesterday, he's like, "Oh, in our life," because they're talking about like going to Mars and stuff, and in our lifetime there will be Martians, and it will be us.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
like, yeah, we're the ones who's
Yeah.
going to go to the other planet.
Exactly right.
Fucking hell, crazy. Anyway,
I want a pregnant woman to go up and give birth on Mars.
oh yeah,
Then you'll really have a Martian.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, how good would that
Bring
be?
it back. Yeah,
Where were you
it'd be pretty
born?
cool.
Oh, Mars.
Shit.
That explains the tentacles.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we've gone
it's getting a bit too out of hand now.
too deep into the planetary stuff.
Just a bit.
Hey, I did say last week that it was the last time we'd ever play this, but we're gonna have to. You ready for it? Wow, it's the Deadwood update.
Deadwood update.
Yes.
Woo! We're
back. We're starting again. No, we're not. No way.
No way.
Fucking hell.
You won't get me to do that again.
No.
Oh, my God.
There's a bit of business to get to.
Yes, there is.
Well, firstly, let's talk about how's life without Deadwood. We've had no Deadwood for a week.
My God, it's not like we don't get to Tuesday and go, oh,
Yeah.
shit, it's Tuesday. It's Deadwood Tuesday.
Did you get to Tuesday and think, oh, no Deadwood, or did you just not think
I just
about
didn't
it?
even think about it. It wasn't even on my radar. Whereas every other week it's like Tuesday and I'm thinking, oh, shit, we're going to do Deadwood tonight. Here we go. Hope this is going to be a good one. And then inevitably it was crap.
Yeah. I was thinking today, I was like, I did not think of Deadwood once. Outside of like maybe editing the podcast or putting up a little couple of clips of the podcast, Deadwood did not cross my mind last week until today. I was like, oh yeah, that thing exists.
Yeah.
So it's been a very nice fucking freeing week, and we are purging the house of the Deadwood DVDs as well. We announced last week that we're getting rid of Deadwood seasons 1 to 3, the DVDs, at our cost. We're sending them out to one very unlucky listener out there.
I think I paid just about full fare for them.
I reckon you would have back in the day, yeah. Well, this first season's in like a proper like fold-out special edition box set kind of thing that they used to do that they don't do anymore. Really gorgeous box set. Like I'd love to keep it if it was a great show.
Yeah.
But I'm getting rid of it. Really beautiful box set. We had very few people enter the competition.
But we had enough.
Make
it a competition.
to make it a competition. So obviously, there's a lot of very smart people out there who didn't want to win Deadwood, and then we got a couple of people who
maybe they just didn't want to give you their phone number.
Yeah, maybe. So we asked for people to write in with just their name and their phone number, and we said we'd call the winner on the
podcast.
On the podcast. Oh gosh.
This is going to be tragic.
Okay, so you've got in the hat.
Yeah.
Do you want to shake him around? Let's give him a little down, up and down. There we go. All right, so Deadwood thing. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to reach out for one lucky winner, and it is right here. Okay. I've grabbed both of them. Go again.
Two of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Go again.
I grabbed two by accident. All right, so let's see. There's quite a few in here. Well, not quite a few. There's a couple.
There's a few. That one there.
Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Okay, and the winner... I've got to try and... I'll do it under here, so just in case the number comes up. Oh, right. So... Oh, it's a patron as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So how good's that? It is James.
Oh,
the patrons.
James. Yes,
our
yes.
patron James. We'd spoken to him before because he turned up to one of our live streams before, actually. So let's give him a call, hey?
Let's see if we can get him on the line and have a chat.
Yep, okay. So
and find out why he wants this shit.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, so we're going to call...
He might just say, because it's free shit.
Yeah.
That'd be the only logical way.
Yeah.
Reason, I should say.
James occasionally writes in with like news and stuff.
Yeah.
Like last week we actually spoke about him too. So we're going to hopefully...
Is it going through the board?
It should be going through the board.
Just check and make sure.
I'm just going to double check because every time we do this it's like a fucking disaster. Bluetooth on. It's connected to the Roadcaster. All right, let's give it a go. Oh, Roadcaster, there we go. Okay. It says it's calling. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I've got on mute. That'll do it. Right, let's try that again. I hung up. Before I had a chance to answer. What is this? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hello?
Hello, is this James?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Dave Lee from the Dave Lee Down Under podcast.
And old man Rick.
Oh, hey.
Okay, Brad, how are you?
I totally forgot about this.
Well, you're the winner of the Deadwood competition.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry if I blew your eardrums out. You've won the 3 seasons of Deadwood. How does it feel?
I'm extremely honoured, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't wait to drudge through them.
Oh, I can't wait for it either. Hey, we were wondering why. We asked last week. We said send in the details into the competition. We asked, why do you want it? Why do you want Deadwood? Let us know.
Well, I think there's this big enigma surrounding it now that I've witnessed you guys watch it over the past couple of weeks, these couple months. So I'm just curious to see what it's all about now.
And see how bad it is,
Yeah. Well, there you go. You are now the winner of the 3 seasons of Deadwood.
But it's not all bad. As we've said, it's not all bad. I thought the first season was actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then it just turned to shit.
Yeah, and we were just saying the version of the first season that we're going to give you is a very special out-of-print digipack edition of it. Oh, it's stunning. And I would keep it if it weren't such a shit program. So you are getting all 3 seasons of Deadwood, not the movie, so you'll have to track the movie down for yourself if you end up going through it. But we will send it out. I will get in touch with you and we will sort all that shit out. And you are the first winner of any Daily Down Under podcast competition. There you go.
Well, I'm extremely honoured to have that title.
There you go.
As we said, we probably paid full fare for them too when they came out. So
when they first come out, there you go.
So I hope you enjoy them, but don't enjoy them.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. Treasure them. We'll get back in touch with you in a few weeks' time and see what your progress is on it.
It might take me 16 years to watch it also.
All right, we'll get in touch then in season 18 of the podcast. Right, yeah.
You'd be my age by the time you finish.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for entering the competition. Once again, congratulations. And
thanks for selecting me. I'm very, very surprised about that.
It was just a random draw. Put all the names in a hat and just pulled a random. And you're the one, mate.
There you go. All right, enjoy them. We'll get in touch.
You got to get his address and everything, don't you?
That's what I mean. I got to get in touch, and I'll get the info, and we'll send it once we are out of lockdown here in Melbourne. That's always fun. Righto. Thanks again for entering, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Take it easy. Well, there you go. Very gracious winner of the Deadwood competition, right there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun.
He just wants to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
And that's fair enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people who entered probably had the same.
I would have accepted. Oh, it's just free shit.
Free shit, yeah, exactly right. Free shit's always good. There you go. So
we'll get in touch with him.
Yeah,
get it to him and get in touch with him in a few weeks' time and see if he's watched any or get him to keep us up to date as to how he's going.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Awesome.
And we can keep giving Deadwood updates.
Yeah, oh, no more. I can't think about this program anymore. We're going to get onto something else. And we kind of want to keep the theme of a program that has just taken us so long to get through.
There's a few.
For whatever reason. It could be a great show, could be a bad one, could be whatever. That's just taken us forever to get through. We've had a few suggestions. We've had 3 kind of leading suggestions recently. And we had Blake write in, who's a patron, long-time listener, long-time follower. He's always writing in the show. He wrote in and he suggested we could do Mad Men Mondays.
Yep.
We could do Weeds Whacking Wednesdays.
Cool.
We could do Just a Fridays.
Just a Fridays is good.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Just a Fridays.
Don't know if I could commit to a program on a Friday night, though.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, you're sitting eating your fish and chips or
suppose
whatever you're having for dinner.
Yeah. So I think the leading ones at the moment is probably Mad Men
Mondays.
Mad Men Mondays. Or I really want to see Justified.
I don't know. Can you do another Timothy Oliphant one straight after?
Yeah, I don't know.
Straight after that piece
I
of
don't know.
Not that he's bad.
No, he's great. He's usually very good.
Mm.
So I think the leading one is Mad Men.
And we're going to have to start it next week. Start next week.
Well, once we get the planets out of the way, that'll free up the evenings.
Yeah, it's true.
So, well, yeah, next week, from when this podcast has gone out, next week we'll start it.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So we couple of shows. Next week we won't have any update. We'll just let's just purge the timeline for a bit, as they say. Yeah.
Don't have to think about that anymore.
Yeah.
Once we've packaged that up and sent it off to James,
it's gone.
It's gone.
Get out of the house.
It's out.
I'm going to play it one final time. There you go.
Your uncle will love that.
Why is that?
The whip.
The whip. Oh, yeah. I have an uncle who loves his whip. He's got a whip. Proper Indiana Jones one.
Yep.
Television-wise, still TV that we've been watching. This is a very big one that I thought we'd spend like a little bit more than normal talking about because it's very exciting. Mm-hmm. And I'm wearing the T-shirt, if you can see it out there. I usually don't wear black T-shirts on the podcast because I end up blending in with the background. If you can see it out there we go. But I had to. Bought this recently from JB Hi-Fi. It's my Loki T-shirt. It's got the TVA logo, and inside all the logos, the characters. So I've got Owen Wilson and Loki, Tom Hiddleston, yeah, on my T-shirt. Very cool. So yeah, Loki episode 6, the finale.
And you almost got ripped off with the T-shirt, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did.
We did get ripped off, but
no, I went in there. We paid full price for them. And then the following day, they went down by 20% or 30%. Was it 30% off?
Yes.
30% off T-shirts, yeah. So I went back and was like, can I get a refund, please?
Because they have a policy, don't they? If you buy something within 14 days or something? Or
it's usually like within a week or a couple of weeks, they will usually give you a refund if you've bought something that's dropped in price. Yeah. So like if you buy something at full price during the week and then on the Wednesday night, like you buy a new release movie.
Well, you bought that on a Sunday, and then on the Monday it dropped in price.
Yeah. So like if you for another example would be like if you go in on Monday and you buy a brand new release movie on Blu-ray, and then they do a 20% off sale on Wednesday night, you can go in and they will usually.
We've done that a few times.
Yeah.
We're inevitable the amount that we buy.
Yeah, I know. So. Well, so it's kind of why we also tend to not buy many discs unless they're on special anymore because the specials are so often. But yeah, so I got 2 T-shirts. I returned them both for a refund, and with the refund bought another T-shirt. So there you go. So the money went straight back to them anyway. So yeah, hey, we're talking about the series Loki. It finished. We're going to get into spoilers here. So if you haven't watched it... Like, it's all over Twitter. It's all over the internet at the moment. I'm sure, we're going to talk spoilers. So if you look down the bottom, if you don't want to know anything, if you look down the bottom, like the text, the description, there'll be a time code. You can just skip this whole discussion if you like, because we're going to dive into it.
Give him a little bit of time to get out. Okay.
All right, see you later. All right, you can come back later. All right, so we're talking about Loki. Okay. I want to know your thoughts of the final episode.
It was a little confusing.
Okay.
I thought. It was a little bit sort of over the place and didn't really wind things up properly for me. I enjoyed it, but I need to go back and watch it again.
I think you were drifting in and out.
I was drifting in and out, but
doesn't
didn't really feel that I'd sort of concluded that series or not.
I didn't, because the revelation was season 2, but it's leading into the movies, the next slate of films, more so than I think season 2. I've seen a lot of complaints about it. A lot of people complaining, a couple of people that I'm good friends with in chats and stuff, complaining that it didn't give them the finality that they wanted. It didn't give them.
That's how I feel.
But see, what I think is that we've been viewing these Marvel shows so far as very finite, limited series where you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah. Whereas Loki, we've now been dumped into what is the first ongoing Marvel series. Right. That's not going to give you a finality. Right. Because it's either going to lead into the next slate of films or it's going to lead into a second season. If you think about any other normal season of show, it's always going to end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but it also gives you some sort of rounding up as well.
Well, it does, so it
didn't
ties
really
up some...
do that.
I don't know. I think it did. I think it answered quite a bit of questions. I think more so than anything, it exists to open up into the next movies that we're getting very soon.
Yeah.
Look,
I enjoyed the whole series. Excuse me. I enjoyed the whole series, but for me, I like to see some rounding off of that series.
Now, see,
even if there is a cliffhanger for the next one, I want some sort of rounding up, because it didn't really. There was some sort of rounding up of part of the storyline, but not really. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But I still think that. I think the biggest thing for me is that maybe. What are you doing? Playing around with your phone?
Yeah, I just had a message come through and
it's going through the board still. Anyway, unpair that.
Yes, do that.
I was going to say, you've lost my train of thought now. I think this is just such an unprecedented form of storytelling now that we're intertwining television series with films.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish your message.
No, you're right. It was just reading what you were saying, but it was saying
really?
It was saying some real odd stuff about pancakes and
what?
I'm thinking, I've just wiped it off now.
Anyway, so this is obviously okay. So what's happened in this final episode? I'll wait so you can process it properly.
Yeah,
You're done?
That's okay. It
right.
was pretty important message, that one.
Right. So anyway, we've had the reveal of the big bad of the series. Kang the Conqueror is his name. He's played by Jonathan Majors. That's Kang. I've got a picture of Kang right there. That's him from the comics. So this guy is going to be like our next Thanos of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, and they've introduced him in Loki, right?
Yep.
So Kang, according to Marvel.com, he is the Master of Time. He's had many names across the time stream, including the Master of Time, Iron Lad, Rama Tut, the Scarlet Centurion, but only one dominates them all, Kang the Conqueror. He's a time-traveling despot, and he's aptly named because he uses all his resources and technology from the future to rule as many universes as possible while there's still time. On his endless journey to become the ruler of all universes, Kang the Conqueror has secured his spot as the Avengers and Fantastic Four's most dominant foe. Tyrannical time traveler with trans-temporal tech, this chronologically misplaced menace threatens to unravel the time stream, if not reality itself. So they've introduced Kang the Conqueror as a way to open the multiverse. So now the multiverse is wide open in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. We've been talking about the multiverse for ages. We know Spider-Man's going to explore the multiverse. You're going to have Tobey and Andrew Garfield and all the Spider-Men are going to come through. Of course, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the next Doctor Strange. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, which is obviously going to be going into quantum realms and the time streams and all that shit. And Kang the Conqueror was announced a long time ago to be the villain of that film, with Jonathan Majors in the role. But the big surprise now was that they have revealed the character earlier, and quite possibly he's going to be he will be in the next slate of movies, maybe. Who knows? Could be in Spider-Man, could be in whatever. So you're going to have him as like this, like the Thanos of the first couple of the phases, I think.
Interesting to have a new character.
Well, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
You have to have a new big bad of the series.
Right.
So I think this Loki really exists now to open up the possibilities of what's going to happen in the next bunch of movies. There's already a rumor now that Tom Hiddleston is going to be in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. So what I'm thinking is that the second season of Loki doesn't necessarily need to pick up exactly where, because a lot of people are complaining I didn't get my conclusion. Now I'm going to have to wait like 2 years for another season to get a conclusion. But I feel like because this is such an unprecedented thing that Marvel are doing, is that it doesn't necessarily mean that season 2 will have to start off where season 1 leaves off. Season 1 could lead into a bunch of movies, and then they lead into season 2. So you spin into a movie, and then you spin out of a movie like 4 films down the line. Sort of
what they did with was it the Avengers, where they had the series, and they would sort of
a bit different
in between movies.
That's
and
all
fill
non-canon.
gaps and stuff.
That's all non-canon now. They wiped it and said that doesn't count anymore.
Bloody hell.
But sort
can't keep up.
Well, sort of, because that first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of went in between the movies. It tried to fill those gaps in between the films.
Yeah, that's right.
Where you'd see how the movies would affect the series. But what I mean now is you have this series, it's leading directly into a movie, and then your second series will lead out of a movie that's come 3 down the line. So this movie the series will affect what's going to happen in this next slate of films, and then those films will then affect what happens in Loki season 2. So you could have Loki in season 1, and then he might appear in Doctor Strange, might appear in Spider-Man, and then you'll have Loki season 2, which spins out of the back of Spider-Man or something like that.
Hell.
That's how I feel they're going to have to do it. That's because you can't have half of this story, then have a bunch of movies, and 2 years down the line you have the second half of that story.
Yeah.
Because the way that Marvel does their storytelling is so chronological that you need to watch it all as a piece like this. Apart from the anomalies, which is like Black Widow, which is a prequel or something.
I wouldn't fancy having to sort of map all that out.
Man, I'm sure they're having a blast.
Someone like Tom Hiddleston's going to be in work for years.
Well, he did an interview. He's like, I will play Loki for the rest of my life. He's like, I'm happy to just play this character forever.
Well, no, he's probably getting paid a bomb to do it.
Exactly.
Why would you bother?
I'm sure Chris Hemsworth said the same about Thor.
Yeah.
He's the only original. Well, you've got Jeremy Renner still doing the Hawkeye thing. But Chris Hemsworth's I'll do this forever. And he was ready to go.
Why not? They're great characters.
Yeah, he was ready to go after Endgame, Infinity War, but because Taika completely reinvigorated the Thor franchise with Ragnarok, he's like, fuck it, I'll do more. I'll do heaps more. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I see both sides. I think it's a really great series, and I think maybe someone more like myself who's really interested in all the movies and just seeing how everything connects and stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I understand it's very exposition heavy. It was very talky, very much just this is whatever, whatever. And then I do understand the other side, which is I would have preferred something that's a bit more finite. I would have preferred things to be wrapped up. I don't need it to lead into other shit. I don't know.
But see, someone like you who, you've read a lot of the comics and stuff and know the canon and all that sort of stuff, I sort of get that on. And you know what's going on. But someone like me, I'm not interested in reading all that crap and all that sort of shit.
See, I haven't read
I'd like to see a bit of a conclusion to a series.
Yeah, see, but that's...
in some regard.
No, I get it. If you're looking at it as a series itself, I agree. It probably doesn't work narratively.
Yep.
But I think in the whole grand of it, scheme of everything, I don't know. I love what they're doing. It's such an unprecedented new way of storytelling. It's just never been done before. And I put up my full trust in Marvel and Kevin Feige to just know what they're doing.
Probably, in years to come, it'll be like the Scarlet Witch and WandaVision. Whereas the first 3 or 4 episodes for me, I just couldn't. Yeah. But at the end of it, you'd look back and think, okay, I understand why they did it. What they did.
Did you understand what's going on with Kang, where he was explaining everything?
Sort of, yeah.
So he is the Kang that we get in this series is a variant,
right? Yeah,
of another Kang,
right?
And he comes from the future, and he has seen what his variants are capable of.
Okay.
So he's come from one timeline and into another timeline. And he's seen that there are pleasant Kangs, but there are also incredibly evil Kangs.
Right.
So that was the ultimatum he gave to Loki and Sylvie was, you can be in control of everything if you keep me alive because I'm one of the more peaceful Kangs. I will let you do this. But if you kill me, you're going to release all the other ones. Yeah. And there's a lot of fucking evil ones out there. And then, of course, they fucking killed him. And it's just the whole timeline's fucked. All these multiverses have come spitting out, and we're going to get... And at the very end of the show, Loki goes back to his timeline, but there's it does the Planet of the Apes reveal. You know how he looks up, he sees, oh shit, there's the Statue of Liberty. I've been on Earth this whole time. Yeah. He goes back and there's a big statue of Kang there. So it's completely changed the timeline. So that's obviously then going to lead into Spider-Man, which is going to open up all these multiverses. Doctor Strange, this is his problem now. He's going to have to deal with having to fucking close all these multiverses now. That's been the rumor for a while, that the movie wasn't going to be about, the movie was going to be about Strange having to deal with closing all these multiverses. Right. So that's obviously what leads into that. I don't know. I just think it's such a fascinating thing. Like, we'll look back 10, 20 years' time and go, that's like, that's the first time they ever did that. Yeah. Like, TV, movies.
Let's just hope DC don't start doing shit like that.
They kind of have. Well, they have sort of. They did, because they've got their Arrowverse of series on TV, like Arrow and Supergirl and all that shit. And then you've got the DC movies, which are separate. And then there's even in the DC movies, there's different timelines. So like Joker was just completely removed from everything else. They kind of did like a crossover series on the Arrow shows where the Flash from the Arrowverse met up with the Flash from the Justice League movies and sort of had like a little multiverse thing going on there.
Okay, yeah.
But on this grand scale,
no.
But I mean, like, Kevin Feige said the whole time that these series are going to be very important to see going into the future of the movies. And until now...
Got to trust in him.
Until now, we haven't really seen it. Like, they've very much stood alone. Obviously, WandaVision was very much its own thing. Even Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier was its own thing. But, of course, that shows you how Falcon becomes, or Sam Wilson becomes Captain America.
Yeah.
So that'll then lead into the next movies. I think Loki...
Yeah.
This is the first time we're seeing like these huge ramifications to the grander franchise, I think. What's that? Someone's calling me. Hang up. No caller ID. Yeah, don't answer them.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next in the franchise. Well, the next thing we're getting actually is that What If series, which is like all the alternate versions of, what if Captain, what if Peggy Carter was Captain Carter?
Yep.
And I feel like it's come at like this perfect time because I think it's going to explore that multiverse now. It's going to show these, Loki has opened up the multiverse and now we get all these alternate multiverse.
It's going to do my head in.
I think it'll be easy. I think it's easy.
God,
it'll be easy to
keep
follow.
Up with it all.
No, it'll be easy. They're not aiming... Their main audience is not like comic diehards. Their main audience is a general audience, and they will always key everything. But for someone like myself who's read the stuff and understands it all, I know where they're going. I'm like, fuck, these are all the possibilities. This is what's happening. Yeah. But I think they will be catering for a more general audience, and I think it'll be all laid out for you very easily.
Well, it'll have to be,
yeah,
because people like me who's not into the canon and lots of stuff.
But there's going to
we'll need that to be fairly
There's also going to be a lot of people out there who aren't watching the shows or who don't watch every single movie. Yeah. So there's going to have to be there's going to be a way for them to just very simply have to tell the story.
And almost sort of have them as a standalone sort of series. Yeah.
So for this outlook, it's like you've gone, okay, Loki has very much opened up the possibilities for what's going to happen with the franchise going forward, but at the same time, you go into Doctor Strange without knowing what happens in Loki, it's probably going to be confusing. Yeah. You're going to have to do some sort of, I don't know, something. But sort of like if you look at the beginning of Loki, they gave you all those like recaps of the movies that led up to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Where he was like watching his life play out.
Because we sort of went back and... Was it that we went back and... Oh, no, it wasn't that we went back and looked at some previous stuff.
Oh,
just
no,
to keep up.
Well, yeah, because they do the Disney Plus will have like it's called Avengers
recap,
something,
sort of.
and it's like a little 2 or 3 minute recap of the character. Yeah. But in the series itself, remember when he first goes to the TVA with Owen Wilson, Owen Wilson plays him clips of his life.
That's right, yeah.
Because this is the Loki.
That was the recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is the Loki that is from the Avengers 2012 timeline. Because remember, Loki, he travels through and then he dies at the hands of Thanos, gets his neck snapped, and then the Avengers travel back in time and then drop the Tesseract, and the Loki 2012 version steals the Tesseract.
Yeah.
So when he goes to the TVA, Owen Wilson's like, well, this is what actually it was supposed to happen in your life. And
Yeah.
shows all those clips.
That's right.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, it's interesting.
Yeah. Just hope I can keep up with it all.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'll be here.
If not, you can
I'll
explain
be
it to
here
me
to
as we
guide you
go
along the
on.
way. So Thor Love and Thunder is one of the next sort of ones. Well, we've got next up is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and then we've got the Eternals. And then I think it's either... Oh, no, and then we've got Spider-Man at the end of the year. And then I think it's either Doctor Strange or Thor. I think Thor is next. I'm not too sure about the ordering there. But someone was speaking to Taika, I think it was Empire Magazine, about Thor Love and Thunder. Was like, tell us about it. Tell us something. And Taika said, well, between me and you and the readers, I've done some crazy shit in my life. I've lived like 10 lifetimes, but it's the craziest film I've ever done. If you wrote down all the elements of this film, it shouldn't make sense. It's almost like it shouldn't be made. If you walked into a room and said, I want this and this and this, who's in it? These people. Who are you gonna? What are you gonna call it? Love and Thunder. I mean, you'd never work again. Maybe I won't after this. It's a very different story than Thor Ragnarok. There'll be far more emotion in this film, and a lot more love, and a lot more thunder, and a lot more Thor if you've seen the photos.
Oh, God.
So that sounds really good. I'm very excited to see where we're going in the future.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. No, it will be good. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know how much, because the next two ones, as I said, Shang-Chi and the Eternals, I don't know how much Shang-Chi in particular is going to focus on the multiverse stuff. I feel like that might be like a more of a prequel thing, maybe set a little bit earlier,
right.
like what I did with Captain America.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, set it in the 90s. Feel like they might do something similar with that. Even Doctor Strange kind of took place a little bit further in the timeline.
Yeah.
I feel like they might do that, but the Eternals, you've got these characters who have been watching Earth for billions of years and have decided that now is the time that they need to intervene. So I feel like, they've seen, oh, fuck, look what's happened with the multiverse. It's gone wide open. We need to get down there. So I feel like maybe it'll affect that, which isn't something I've really heard much talk about. But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens next with the MCU. I'm very excited. Many great possibilities.
Just back on Loki, the Loki series.
Yeah.
One thing that did my head was that you had Loki kissing Loki.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit strange.
It was Loki kissing the female version of Loki.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
That's Loki, though, I suppose. If there's one character that you think is going to be doing that, it's him. Really?
Yeah, I found that a bit odd.
Yeah. A lot of people were really annoyed with it. A lot of people were really annoyed with that, with the kiss, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For various reasons, but
yeah. Well, exactly. Right.
But yeah. No, quite funny. Even I was a bit like, oh, they actually went there and they done that.
Exactly
very strange, very funny. But unsurprising with that character.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to the Thor.
Yeah, Love
and Thunder. Anything
Good.
Taika touches, I love.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good.
Right back to his early stuff, right through to now. He's
terrific, isn't he?
He's super.
He is super. I got to briefly talk about my partners on the channel here. Of course, Random Space Media, putting together fantastic Blu-ray, DVD packaging releases with Universal, Sony Pictures, Home Entertainment, and a bunch of other distributors, including Disney. They have just released, I keep saying this, but French Exit, their Blu-ray of French Exit has just come out this week. So you're going to head over to randomspacemedia.com and pick that one up. Of course, one of their next ones that's coming out is Jumanji Next Level in 3D, which is the first time it's issued in 3D anywhere in the world. And they've just announced a combo pack of Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University, which has, of course, been done with Disney. So you can head over to randomspacemedia.com and pick them up. Kicks.com.au, I've, of course, teamed up with them once again as well. You can head over there and use Dave15 at checkout for 15% off their incredible range of Blu-rays and DVDs.
And that's not an affiliate code either.
Neither of that. No, that's not an affiliate code. I get nothing out of it. I just, helping these smaller distributors sort of get their stuff out there. Just trying to get as much of a spotlight as possible. Yeah.
Keep physical media alive.
Exactly right. So that code can be used store-wide, pre-orders, sale product, etc., etc. Yeah. Do you want to play?
Oh, just before we go on to there, I was going to mention. I heard this morning. What's it called? Clarkson and May and Hammond. There's a new what's it called? What's that show they do?
Grand Tour.
Grand Tour. I keep going to call it
Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Yeah.
There's a new Grand Tour. I think it's later this month. I think it's a lockdown special. So I'm looking forward to.
So what are they going to do? Drive around in?
Who
lockdown?
knows? Who knows what they're going to do?
Interesting.
But yeah, so everything they do is pretty interesting. If you're into that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so get on to
Check
that.
it out. I've got to check out Clarkson's Farm still.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he's funny. He wants to do a second season apparently. People loved it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it was that. It was like the #1 debut on Amazon ever or something like that. Apparently huge, fucking massive.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, me either.
Does
Massive.
not surprise me.
So he wants to do a second season. Anyway, that'll be good. I like the Grand Tour. It's got to be better than that fucking Richard Hammond show where he was on the island.
Oh,
building.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was
that
called.
Was a bit shit.
Awful. Watched 2 episodes of it. It was like, that's dreadful.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah. Hey, let's play a game of Shite or All Right.
All right.
All right, this is the game where we play. this is the game that we play.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
On the show, yeah.
Shit, eh?
Our official scorekeeper, Jeff, after I gave him a little bit of a slap last week, he's back on it. Get back to work, Jeff.
Good on you, Jeff.
I said, get back to work, monkey. Get back to work.
Bloody minion.
Monkey on a bicycle.
And Dave with the grind, the angle, what do you call it? The bloody organ grinder.
Organ, yeah. Yes, Dave. I got the score. No, I'm joking. No, we did say last week, Jeff, but he emailed me. He was like, oh my God. He's like, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Something happened. Apparently the whole document crashed or something and he spent like a day rebuilding it. It looks much better and it's just all straight. Thank you so much for your work, Jeff. We do appreciate it. He sent through a brand new updated scorecard. So the score is currently 16-10 in my favour. The gap has closed up a little bit.
Oh, dream on.
A little bit. Like this game is such luck. It's just luck.
Yeah.
This game. So you could come through easily. You are still on a deficit of 2 questions. I have guessed first 6 times.
Yep.
You have guessed first 5.
Right.
So today you'll
first.
You'll guess first,
right.
And that'll even that up.
Yep.
You're still on a deficit of 2 questions, so we can both do 2 each, and then I'll give you another one.
Yep.
And then next week we'll do 2 each again, and then I'll give you another one.
Right.
And we'll be up to.
Yep. Then we'll be even.
Then we'll be even finally. Right. So, of course, this is the game that we play where we pull up random titles on IMDb. We read the synopsis to the other person. We got to leave out character names where they're like a spoiler or giveaway.
Yeah.
If it's something like John did this, it's not fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Leave out like the year. You leave out the genre. You leave out the actors. Everything. It's just the synopsis, and we got to guess whether the movie is shite or
all right.
Just by judging by the cover, essentially.
Yeah.
So
all comes from don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Isn't it, really.
So but it's shite or all right. So we figure we base whether the movie is shite or all right, which we got to guess. We got to guess whether it's shite or all right.
Yep.
The answer is by the rating on IMDb.
Yep.
We've always figured that something under a 5 is usually...
Under a 6.
Under a 6 is usually going to be a bit iffy. So anything from 0 to 5.9 is... And anything from 6 and above...
All right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the game.
And that's how we buy our Blu-rays.
That is how we buy our Blu-rays.
If it's under 6, we'll get onto IMDb and we'll go, then we'll try Rotten Tomatoes and see what that says.
Yeah.
And if we've got someone in there we like, we think, look, we'll get it anyway.
Yeah. All right, so
we've seen some real trash over 6.
We have,
and we've seen some good stuff under 6.
We have. So the thing is, it's just usually like some sort of obscure title. There's thousands of movies out there in this world. So we just type in a random code, imdb.com/title, and then you've got just like a random catalog number that each title has. You pull it up, and you go for it. What we've been doing over the last few weeks is people have been sending in stuff to us as well, which has been fantastic.
Tyson's been doing some work.
Tyson, I had Tyson write in. He's done a lot of work. He's sent in like 40-something titles, like 43 titles or something here. So that'll keep us going for a little while.
Yeah.
And Jeff.
We may not get to all of them, but...
Well, over time we might.
We'll do some here and there.
Yep.
Depending on who else sends stuff in.
Exactly right. If other people are going to send stuff in, please do, and we'll go between. Jeff, the official scorekeeper of the podcast, has sent in quite a few as well. He's actually delegated them.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. So I assume that means...
That's for me.
That's for you, and then that's for me.
And that one's for you,
to read. Or...
Oh, no, I took it the other way, that where it's got my name...
Yeah.
That's one to be read to me.
Okay.
And we'll only really know when we pull one of them up and see what it is.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll do it that way. So I'll do the first one today.
Yep.
So essentially what we'll do is we'll read one from Tyson and one from Jeff each. Yep. And then I will give you another one from Tyson because we're going to get through all them.
Okay, so let's do you do the first one?
Yeah, and you do
I'll do the second one.
Yep.
You do the third one. And then we'll do Jeff.
Okay, and then we'll do Jeff.
Do it that way.
Righto. Okay, so I start.
So you've got the one at the top.
One at the very top. Yep. Okay, here we go. Right. All right. Oh, here we go. To win a soda pop competition, a group of unlikely people attempt to create the embodiment of the perfect family.
That's it.
Yep. To win a soda pop competition, a group of unlikely people attempt to create the embodiment of the perfect family.
That sounds like shite to me.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon that sounds like shite.
Okay, so lock it in.
It doesn't sound like you really take that very far.
All right, so lock in shite?
Lock it in shite.
All right. This one is...
All right.
Wrong again. It's called Picture Perfect. It was made in 1995. It's a television movie.
Oh.
It stars Richard Kahn.
Oh, yeah.
Al from Home
Al,
Improvement. Yeah. A bunch of other people I've never seen in my life. Someone called Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon is the name of Batwoman in the DC comics.
Oh.
But yeah, Richard Kahn's in it. It's got a 7.3.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't imagine it.
There you go. No.
How many reviews though?
366.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
fair enough.
All right. So
sounded like shite.
Well, it was all right.
Okay.
All right. So you're reading the second one?
Your first one?
Yeah.
Is an aging punk rocker copes with life after rock. Ooh. An aging punk rocker copes with life after rock.
This sounds a little bit like that one with Al Pacino, where he was an ex-rocker and he's like aging and he's coping with life. But I don't remember him being a punk rocker. What was it called? Danny something or other. And I quite liked it. I watched it twice. I watched it once on a plane and then I watched it again at home. Danny Collins, is that what it was called? I don't know. I liked it though.
Can't remember. Yeah, it could have been.
So if that was that one, you would have known the title, unless you're poker. I'm gonna say it's all right. It actually there was another one with someone in it very similar. I can picture the cover where he's got like the guitar over his back. That came out many years ago. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's all right because it actually does sound okay.
Okay, so you're gonna lock that in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock it in.
Okay, so we've got.
Oh no.
It's 5.5.
So
it's a shite.
Yeah,
it's called Ordinary World.
Oh.
And what was the cover you said?
It's like a guitar on the back and there's like a light shining.
No,
not
You're thinking
quite.
of Rockstar, maybe.
Maybe.
I think Rockstar.
Yeah, was it called Rockstar?
Mark Wahlberg or?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's what it's called. So yeah, so it's called Ordinary World. It's got a 5.5.
Yeah,
and
Mark Wahlberg Rockstar. It's exactly what I'm thinking
stars Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yep.
Fred Armisen.
As in Billy Joe from Green Day. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
There you go. So it's shite.
Yeah.
I won't bother with it then.
Selma Blair and Chris Messina.
Yeah, yeah. And Brian Baumgartner from The Office.
Oh, yeah. There's a few
Kevin.
there you'll know.
Yeah.
John Doman.
Oh, there you go. So that was a shite. Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's one of the Ravagers in the Guardians films.
Oh, you recognise the face now, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Ah, very good.
So, yeah.
That's a good one from Tyson there.
So we both got it wrong.
Yeah.
Thank Christ, you get further ahead.
All right, I've got another one for you. Okay.
Yep.
The true story of Michelle Brown, who has her identity stolen and $50,000 purchased under her name. Now, I gave you the name there, but it probably won't spoil anything. It's a pretty generic name. The true story of Michelle Brown, who has her identity stolen and $50,000 purchased under her name.
That sounds familiar.
It does.
Sounds like there's been a couple of films similar to that.
Yeah.
Give me an assist.
Oh, yeah, because we can give you an assist. We can pick an assist for one round, which is, what do you want? You want the people who are in it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you this. It's got Kimberly Williams Paisley, who is the daughter from Father of the Bride. She was the bride in Father of the Bride.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I don't think you'll know anyone else. Annabelle Sciorra.
I'm saying shite.
You're going to say Shite?
I'm saying shite.
You're going to lock it in?
I'm locking it in.
You're locking it in?
Yeah, I'm saying shite.
All right, it is a... yeah! You got another one. You're fucking lucky, though.
Ooh.
You're really lucky.
On the fringe, is it?
5.9.
Oh.
Yeah.
My God.
5.9. It's a movie called Identity Theft. Identity Theft.
I reckon I might have seen it.
It's a TV movie, though. Another TV
I
movie.
watched a lot of trashy TV
No, I don't think we
movies.
have seen it, but it does sound familiar. And I've already read the art, the people in it. This was made 2004. Sounds very familiar, but there you go. All right, so I've done 2. Now you do one from Jeff, and I'll do one from Jeff.
Okay, so I'm doing... That one's to be read to you, the second one? That's how I'm reading it.
I assume so, yeah.
And by the look of this, that's probably right.
Okay, so we do... Okay, so you do one more, I do one more.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, this one is... Where are we? On a faraway planet where blue giants rule,
Yep.
oppressed humanoids rebel against their machine-like leaders.
Again?
On a faraway planet where the blue giants rule, oppressed humanoids rebel against their machine-like leaders.
It sounds like sci-fi, like a sci-fi sort of 1950s thing. Sounds like one called This Island Earth. Sounds very similar to that. And from memory, those movies, I think that one has a shit rating, but are actually fun movies and like cult movies that people love. I'm going to say Shite, only because I feel like it's probably a good movie that's got a shitty rating.
Okay.
I'm going to say Shite.
You going to say shite?
Yeah, I'm going to say Shite.
Locking it in?
Lock it in.
Lock it in, Dano.
Do it.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah. No.
No, I'm wrong.
All
no.
right,
No,
all
in
right.
It's more than just
No,
right,
no.
all right,
What
all
is it?
right.
It's a 7.8.
Shit.
It's called La Planète Sauvage,
Oh.
which I think
Yeah.
is that its
Yeah,
other
it's
title,
it's
Fantastic Planet.
Fantastic Planet. It's an animated thing, yeah.
Is it animated, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's a 7.8 and stars Barry Bostwick, Jennifer Drake. Oh, yeah, voice actors, yeah.
Ah.
And a few others that we
There you
don't
go.
know. So, yeah.
Ah.
Whew. So I'm one
Yeah.
up on you
Yeah.
this week so far.
Yes. Shit.
I'll get one more.
You get one more. So Jeff, I feel like, I don't know if we're reading him correctly, but Jeff will, I'm sure, will correct us if I'm accidentally reading your, because the way we read it is that if it's got the name next to it, that's the one that's to be read to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one for you, and if we're wrong, we'll...
So that's the top one you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we're wrong, we will fix it next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, here we go. Oh, interesting. A group of men trap wild animals in Africa and sell them to zoos before the arrival of a female wildlife photographer threatens to change their ways.
Oh, yeah, I reckon that must be for me because it's a photographer.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we might get it right. Go again.
A group of men trap wild animals in Africa and sell them to zoos before the arrival of a female wildlife photographer threatens to change their ways.
I'm thinking it's got plenty of scope, that one, so I'll say it's all right.
I think it's all right?
Yeah.
Sound familiar or anything?
That does sound familiar.
So you're going to go with...
I'll go all right.
Yeah.
I'll go it's all right.
It is...
All right.
Yeah. If it sounds familiar,
Yeah.
it's called Hatari.
Oh,
John
okay.
Wayne.
Yeah.
We watched
wow.
it not long ago.
Yeah,
We watched
yeah,
it
yeah.
last year. Yeah. So it's got John Wayne, Elsa Martinelli, who plays the female photographer. Red Buttons is in it.
There was a rumor that his real name was Blue Zippers.
Oh, really? For God's sake.
Yeah.
Oh,
That were around for years ago.
There was a similar one about Dick Van Dyke, but I won't go down that route.
No, it says like a rabbit hole we don't need to go down.
No. There's a few of those jokes around back in the day. But there you go. Hatari, yeah, we watched that not long ago.
What was its rating?
So 7.2.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. It was a very good film. 2.5 hours.
It sounded really familiar. I'm thinking, geez, I'm sure I've seen something like that.
Yeah, there's some great scenes, where they're trapping
Was that ever
animals.
remade?
Don't think so. I don't think it was. But there are scenes. Well, you couldn't remake it now because there are scenes where they're actually catching the animals.
Yeah.
They're hanging off like John Wayne's hanging off the back of a truck, catching like a fucking elephant or a giraffe or something.
Couldn't do that now.
No.
Oh no.
No, but a good movie for its time. So there you go. That is this week's edition of Shite.
All right.
And the best thing about that was I caught up too.
You caught up too,
Woo-hoo!
yeah. Shit, boy.
Getting better.
Yeah. Getting much better.
Yeah.
So thanks again to Tyson and Jeff for sending a couple in. And if you want to send any in, please write to me at daveleepod@gmail.com.
Yep.
There you go.
And please send them in.
Yeah, please send them in.
So
As many as we
try
can.
and find them.
We got a tiny little bit of news this week. The biggest one, if we go back to Marvel for a moment.
Yep.
Black Widow opened and earned $218 million plus in its opening weekend worldwide global gross. It's the biggest domestic opening, so the biggest opening in America since The Rise of Skywalker in December of 2019.
Wow, good on him.
Yeah, and it has set a record for a pandemic era opening. So the previous one was Fast 9, which had a 70 million domestic opening. Black Widow opened with 80 million domestic. It took in 78 million at the international box office, and took in this is a big number, 60 million plus on Disney Plus Premier Access.
How do we know that figure's right? Because they don't really know.
They don't normally, but they have
release,
now.
do they?
No, not normally. They have now. It's very unusual for any streaming service to release numbers, but they have with this, and that tells me that it's a big deal.
Yeah,
that it's made a lot of money.
Exactly right. But that probably doesn't spell the end of box office cinemas.
No, it's a big opening.
Yeah.
It's a very big opening. Like that would be like probably not a Marvel level opening, but definitely like a general
pretty
sort
good.
of really decent movie opening.
That's best part of $1 billion movie. That one in
general, that's what I mean.
In real terms,
yeah.
Well,
While that
normal times.
If this was normal times, that probably would have taken 100 million, maybe 150 million at the box office in the first weekend, maybe 200 million
just in US.
in the US. Yeah. So I think Black Widow would have made $1 billion at the box office. Obviously, it's not going to get anywhere near that in pandemic era, but this shows that people are willing to get back to the movies now.
Yep.
But it also shows that people are happy to watch it at home. So this now asks the question: is this going to give Disney now what's the word I'm looking for? Give them the impetus to now go, fuck it, we're just going to keep putting stuff on Disney Plus Premier Access and in cinemas same day.
Maybe. Because you're still going to get people who love to see these big films in the cinema.
Yeah. And quite obviously,
there's
a lot of people who are like, I would rather go to the movies and watch it, and they have.
But there's also that market there that people are still too a bit gun shy to go out in public and think, oh, bugger it, I'll pay my $30 and I'll watch it at home.
Yeah.
And I can watch it more than once.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many people went to the cinema and watched it, thought, oh, I love that, and went home and thought, fuck it, I'll buy it here as well.
A friend of mine, Brendan, did that. Went and saw it in the cinema, then he went home and bought it. He's a huge Black Widow.
Yeah.
He fucking loves Black Widow. And, he went and saw it in the cinema.
Because he cosplays, doesn't he?
He does cosplay.
And
that's Dave.
That's Dave.
But I was going to talk about them as well, Dave and Alison. But Brendan does cosplay as well.
But Brendan's in Queensland?
Brendan's in Queensland, yeah.
And the other
Brendan is in New South Wales.
Right. Okay.
And
the others are South Australian.
And the others are South Australian. Brendan's a huge Black Widow nut. He saw it in theatres twice, but then also bought the Premier Access as well.
God.
And is watching it on Premier Access. Dave and Alison were going to... So this kind of gives you the idea of what kind of people might be doing what. Dave and Alison were struggling to find a babysitter for their young child who's like a few years old. So they were going to get the Premier Access and watch it at home, but at the last minute... something opened up where they were able to find someone to look after the child, and they went to see it at the cinema.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you the idea of what kind of people might be watching it at home, might be the people with the kid who can't get out to the cinema, and then there's like the diehard fans who'll go out and see it at the movies sort of thing. So they would have, even though they're diehard fans, if they couldn't find someone to look after the kid, they would have been happy to watch it at home.
And they bought it. They bought it as well.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if they have yet. But Brendan definitely saw it at the movies twice and then bought the Premier Access.
Good on him.
Yeah.
So there'll
be a lot of people out there doing it.
One, maybe two people that that have done it.
Yeah. Well,
so there's going to be a lot of people out there.
Well, you'll get people. Like I hear about people, particularly with like the big Marvel movies, who will go and see it 10 times in the cinema. And now this gives you the option to, well, fuck, I'll go see it in the cinema maybe once or twice, and then I'll lay down the rest of the money in Premier Access and watch it home as much as I can.
Yeah.
For an extra $35. Yeah. So
good on them.
It's interesting. It's the first Marvel film to go to a cinema in 2 years since Spider-Man Far From Home opened in 2019. We were saying last year, of course, we've had these Marvel shows, but there's nothing quite like seeing a Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's right.
When we saw Black Widow, I remember sitting there like, it's just a completely different experience, thinking fucking watching a Marvel movie on a big screen, and it's just completely different experience. But yeah, obviously that's going to be a big reason why people went back to the cinema in such big numbers during the pandemic. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting what Disney does going forward now, because that is such a huge opening on Premier Access, $60 million.
It's massive.
And the biggest part of that is that they don't have to share that money with a theatre chain.
No, that's right.
So they would probably get maybe 78, I think 80% of that money. The other like 20, 22% will be like back ends for the actors.
Right.
So what I read this week is actually that Disney, remember when Warner Brothers first announced we're going to put all our movies day and date on HBO Max for free. The same date goes to a cinema, and then all the actors came out and were like, hang on, what about our fucking back-end profits? And they went, we're going to give this many $1 million to Gal Gadot and this many $1 million to Patty Jenkins, team behind Wonder Woman. Yeah. And then everyone else came out and goes, hang on, what about us? And then they were forced to kind of like fork out a whole bunch of money, and dumping all this stuff on HBO Max free of charge has allegedly burned a big hole in Warner Brothers' pockets. So Disney took note, and apparently they have rewritten the contracts and clauses for their actors to take streaming into account now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if something does at the last minute have to go to streaming, world turns to shit at the last minute and they go, fuck, we're going to have to throw on Disney Plus.
Yep.
There's something written into those contracts now that goes, you are still going to get your back-end profits from Premier Access. And the good thing is,
they should.
Exactly right. And Disney is actually as opposed to Warner Brothers, who's going, hey, have it for free. Space Jam opens this weekend, but if you want to stay at home watch for free, you can do that. Disney's like, no, you can pay fucking $30 and watch the film. And people are doing it.
Yep.
$60 million.
Yep.
So I'm not quite sure how it breaks down when it goes to theatres, but they don't get anywhere near that much. They get very little out of it once you split the theatres and the distributors and all these other factors, back ends and everything. You make certainly not anywhere near as much as they're taking home from the Disney Plus Premier Access. I think at this point they'd be crazy to not keep doing that.
So 60 million, that'll equate to, was it $30?
$30 US.
Let's say 30. So that's what, 2 million people.
Yeah,
have done that.
There you go. So they'd be mad if they didn't do that.
No, exactly right.
I think.
Well, there's a market for both, isn't there? Market for sitting on your fat ass at home and watching it, or going into the cinema and watching it.
Now, of course, Jungle Cruise.
Because we'll prefer to go and see these big ones at the cinema.
Yeah. And
then buy the Blu-ray when it comes out.
Yeah.
Or so the 4K or whatever.
I think Jungle Cruise is doing the Premier Access thing. People are now saying it'll be interesting to see if they release numbers of Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah,
so that'll be the next one that goes the Premier Access, and another couple of titles I think for the rest of the year. I think the rest of the titles are going. No. I think Jungle Cruise might be the last one that they've currently announced is going to Premier Access as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, because Cruella did it and Raya did it,
and they didn't release figures for that, did they?
No.
So you got to wonder whether they were as successful as that, which they probably weren't.
I think there were rumours that Raya took in maybe 20 million on Premier Access.
Right. Okay.
Again, I don't know number off the top of my head, but I feel like some sort of online one of those trackers that tracks the. I think the number that came out was like 20, 30 million. But 60 million, that's huge.
Well, yeah.
As crazy as that is, I think they'd be mad to get rid of it. They've got the platform to do it. They can do it. They're making money. Just do it.
Yeah.
Why not? And the window on home media is so small now. Like they've shrunk it. It went from years ago. You wait 2 years for the VHS to come out.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And then DVD era was maybe like six months.
6 months or something.
And then,
in Australia, sometimes it'd be even 12 months.
Yeah. More recently, it's been like 3, 4. Pandemic era has really cut it down to about 2 months, 1.5 to 2 months. So it's,
There's been the occasional ones come out almost.
Yeah, pretty. Well, they've fast-tracked a few. Yeah. Conjuring 3 is already on there.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a couple recently where they fast-tracked to digital.
Yeah.
The digital, like you go to Apple TV and you buy it on Apple TV for like $35. Yeah, I don't know. I think they would be mad if this was the thing that they didn't keep doing going forward.
I think they will. I mean, we're not going to be out of this pandemic next week,
No,
so
exactly right.
He's going to be with us for at least another couple of years, I think. And they're just going to have to keep doing it, I would think. What was the? Do you know what the production cost on that was? The movie was?
It's probably a couple of $100 million. I would say $200 million. I'll have a look. But,
so they've probably made their money back then.
I would say so. I'd say, but the best part of it, it's been out for a week now. I'd imagine they've probably at least made the money back. 200 and its budget was $200 million, and it's taken in $220 million box office already. That would include Disney Plus Premier Access, but then you account for an extra 200. You would imagine in normal times, you would have to double the budget for the promotional campaign, so an extra $200 million. So it's broken that film budget. It probably needs to do it maybe $200 million more to make a profit.
They'll do it easy.
That'll
be easy.
Yeah,
I'll do it easy.
Absolutely. That's only that is opening weekend numbers that I've given. So it's been open for a whole week. It'd be interesting to see what it's taken in already. So there you go.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but I can see them doing that with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that sort of figure. Particularly these big ones. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
As I said,
exactly right.
Brendan's going to watch it twice and then pay for Premier Access.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of people out there who've done that too.
Yep, exactly right.
Guarantee it.
And that's just one person you know.
Yeah. And I would do it, except I buy the Blu-ray. So
that's right.
I will wait a couple of months to get the Blu-ray.
Yeah. So, so there's more profit for them.
Yeah, exactly right. So there you go. There you go, hey?
Unbelievable.
We got a very small update on the next Indiana Jones 5, which is Indiana Jones and don't have a title for it yet, unannounced.
Second half of that last thing.
Yeah, hopefully this will be better. Of course, Harrison Ford's back as Indy Jones. He's currently not filming.
I was going to say, is he back filming yet?
Not yet.
What did he do? Break his leg or something? Or
did he? I don't think did they say it was an arm or something? He injured something.
I can't remember.
He had some sort of injury on the set again because he still insists on doing all these stunts.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot. We spoke about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
A long history of just
That's
set
right.
injuries.
Yep.
But he keeps on going. Good on him. So he's in it. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be in it. She's the new female. And then Mads Mikkelsen's going to be the villain. But we've just had news dropping this morning that Antonio Banderas is going to be in it. Don't know who, don't know what he's going to be, whether he's going to be like a sidekick or another villain or who knows. So it's going to be interesting.
It's got to be a sidekick, I reckon.
I think so, yeah. That'd be pretty cool, I reckon.
Couldn't imagine him as a villain. Oh, no. Yeah, so I could, yeah. I
could imagine it, but I don't... Has he
but
ever really...
Mads Mikkelsen is the villains.
Yeah, always.
Oh,
yeah.
He makes a good villain. Does a good villain.
You still got to watch The Hunt. I keep saying we got to watch The Hunt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Antonio Banderas. They're shooting in Edinburgh at the moment.
Wow.
Where you've been.
Yes, I've been to Edinburgh.
Beautiful city.
Great spot.
Love it. One of my favourite
Good part
cities
of
in the world.
And
Gorgeous.
then walk up that hill. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, that huge hill. Great
I was
stuff.
knackered, but into that. But great view from up there.
Stunning.
Just gorgeous.
Look over the
up
whole
there.
city. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
Just a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yeah.
I mean, we have nothing like that here in Australia.
No.
Yeah, we don't have that history.
No. So it looks like there's been a bunch of pictures that are leaked out from the set. It looks like it's set during the mid-60s. Because there's pictures up which is like Aldrin, Armstrong, and what's the third guy? Michael
Collins?
Michael Collins. Wasn't that? I can't remember why. Everyone forgets the name of the third guy. I always feel really bad. Armstrong, Aldrin,
Top it's Apollo.
and true. What is it? And Edwin? No, not Edwin. Oh, fuck. What was Apollo 11 or 13?
13.
Apollo 13. No, Apollo 13's the one with Tom Hanks. Apollo 11 was the one.
Oh, God, we should.
Michael Collins, yeah.
Yeah, Michael
His
Collins,
name was
yeah.
Michael Collins, yeah. There you go. So he was the one that sat in the ship while they went down on Earth, yeah. So there's like a picture with like a big sign
On
which is
the
like
moon, not on Earth.
No, it's on Indiana Jones.
Oh,
The set picture from Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
In Edinburgh, there's like a big poster that has Aldrin Collins, a welcome home or whatever, it's something. So it's obviously set during like the space race.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. Don't know what's going to happen there. Yeah. We've got a new trailer come out this week from Pixar. Do you want to have a very brief look?
Sure.
Okay, it's called Turning Red. It's just a very short teaser trailer. We'll very quickly talk about our thoughts on this one. This is one. I won't tell you what it's about. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but here you go.
Who could tell me how the formula begins? X equals...
No, this isn't happening.
Excuse me, my child goes to this school. I used to call this Freckles. How dare you? Ow, I paid my taxes.
What is that? Oh, snap!
All right, settle down, little goblins. Whoa.
Please,
Tell him it's Mommy!
There you go. Turning Red, the new Pixar film. So it's about a young kid who turns into a big, giant red panda when she gets excited.
Yeah. I'll reserve judgment.
Yeah, see, a lot of people have had that same sort of
Yeah.
like, it looks a bit.
But, we've gone into a lot of those animated things that, and they've been good.
Yeah,
And you'd trust Pixar.
yeah, exactly.
There's not much they do.
Well, they've
that's
had a
not-
few duds, but
Not too many, though.
no. It
I'll
almost
reserve
looks,
my judgment.
yeah, I wasn't huge on Onward, which was the one with Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, the little elf brothers.
I enjoyed that
It was
one.
good,
Yeah,
but
I
it
enjoyed
wasn't
that.
for me. It wasn't like one of the best
One where
ones.
they were looking for their father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I think it might be. I think it might be like a lower than that. Maybe I don't know. I can't judge it. We've seen like one small little scene of the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Animation's beautiful as always.
Oh, it's
but,
gorgeous animation.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
It's the first Pixar to be directed solely by a female. There's been one other female director as co-director on Brave, but this will be the first sole female directed Pixar film. Her name's escaped me at the moment. Turning Red. She also did the short film. Domi Shi is her name, and she also did a short film called Bow. I don't know if you remember it. It was like with you might not have seen it. I think it played at the beginning of Incredibles 2, maybe. Did you even watch Incredibles 2?
Yeah, I think I did.
There's a little short film which is like a mother, and she makes like a what's one of those like Chinese like it's not like a dim sim, but similar to a dim sim.
Oh, yeah.
Like a dumpling.
Dumpling.
Makes like a dumpling, and the dumpling comes to life.
Oh, I don't remember.
And then it's like this whole thing. It's like an allegory for empty nester syndrome or whatever they call it when the child leaves home and whatever else. Because then the dumpling grows up and moves out, and she's sad and whatever. A gorgeous short film.
Yeah. I think I
amazing short film, and now they've given her the keys to make a film. It's also the first Pixar film to focus on Chinese culture, which is great. And it's going to be set in Canada. First Pixar film to be set in Canada.
Oh, God.
So the filmmaker is a, I think, Chinese-born Canadian filmmaker.
Right.
Or artist. And she is making, it's kind of like one of those semi-autobiographical things again. So it'll be interesting, I think. I think it's got a few things lined up which seem good. We like the cultural things, and but it does seem like a very simple one, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see.
It'll be
interesting
interesting to see it.
We've only had a teaser trailer.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
We are bordering on 2 hours.
Oh,
Let's get a couple of
couple of questions.
Questions in, and then we'll close it out, huh?
Okay. Do you want them just from top down?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, from Walther Saucer. G'day, buddy.
Walther!
What is your favourite movie theme song? Mine is Gone with the Wind. Try not to get goosebumps with that magnificent music.
Oh, that is a beautiful score, Gone
It
with
is.
the Wind.
It is gorgeous.
I love John Williams' Superman theme. I think it's a great theme.
Yeah.
Terrific theme.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I couldn't really think of one, but now you mentioned that a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apocalypse Now is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but probably the Superman.
Yeah,
that's the most
theme.
Memorable.
Has to be a John
As soon
Williams.
as you hear those first couple
the Jurassic Park theme.
Those first couple of notes, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like,
all the John Williams music's like that, really, isn't it? Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Jaws. You just know it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
right.
anything by John Williams.
Wars.
Anything. Star Wars, yeah.
Thanks, Walter. Two-Tone Studio. First cartoon exposure. Your favourite cartoonist of all time?
Oh, first cartoon exposure, probably just a kid watching the Disney movies, I'd imagine, or even Mickey Mouse cartoons or Bugs Bunny cartoons or something like that. Simple answer. I think everyone's probably the same. Favourite cartoonist of all time? It's probably, it's hard, well, other than like Walt Disney and the nine old men, the guys that, worked on those early animated films, iWorks. I love Chuck Jones' work from the Looney Tunes, those great Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck cartoons. I think Chuck Jones is a fantastic cartoonist. So, yeah, well up there for me. Favourite cartoon of all time? Probably like Steamboat Willie or, again, any of the Chuck Jones Bugs Bunny stuff, like the Hunting Trilogy or, Barber of Seville or any of the Rabbit of Seville, sorry. Any of them I just love. How about you? First cartoon exposure, you remember?
Jesus, so I wouldn't remember, Dave. One of my favourites would be Peanuts. Charlie Brown Peanuts. Yeah. I just love the simplicity of the animation on that.
Beautiful.
Just really simple and just beautiful little stories and stuff with that.
Yeah.
Cartoonist, I couldn't tell you.
Charles M. Schulz, there you go.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
There you go.
Next one is Ethan. How did you say that name?
I don't know. Abawagi.
Something like
Yeah,
that. Sorry,
apologies.
Ethan. We'll apologise. We're terrible with names. What Marvel characters do you want to see get their own MCU movie?
It's tough because I feel like they've all had them.
Mm.
They've all maybe a character that hasn't got a movie yet. Let me think. Maybe I'd love to see maybe like a villain-led thing.
Oh, you know what would be good?
Yeah.
What was her name? Iron Man's assistant.
Oh, Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be good to have her own, and she turns into maybe she could turn into a villain.
Well, they had her take the Iron Man suit at the end of Endgame, remember?
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
So she could become Iron Woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Or she could turn to a villain.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon that'd be interesting.
I can't remember the name of the actual, I don't know, the suit. There was a particular name for it in the game. It escapes me at the moment. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know if there's a character like that hasn't been in the movie yet. I always really liked all the characters that I really love have been turned into movies. I really like the Enchantress, those really cool like anti-hero / supervillain from the Thor comics. And I feel like Sylvie, who's the female Loki variant from Loki, kind of takes a little bit of inspiration from the Enchantress, though. So I don't know, but yeah, that's probably my answer there.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I thought
Yeah,
Pepper Potts would be interesting.
Hey, how about a Korg movie?
Oh, with Taika voicing it again.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. There you go. Yeah.
That's a really bad Kiwi accent, bro.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Agora one?
Yep.
Agora one.
Agorowan?
Agora?
I'm not sure.
Whatever it is, apologies. What's your favourite mini-series?
Oh, I wrote a few down that we've watched over the years and really liked. Probably number one would be Band of Brothers.
Oh, that's brilliant. Mm-hmm. And what was the other one? Pacific. Yeah. That was pretty good
both
too.
Very good.
Band of Brothers was brilliant.
Of course, Spielberg and Tom Hanks produced them both. It was sort of like companions to Saving Private Ryan, very similar style.
Yeah.
Terrific. Great stuff. You haven't checked them out, check them out. HBO series. Similar, From the Earth to the Moon. We only watched that last year.
Yeah.
Similar thing where Tom Hanks was part of it, but also Ron Howard.
Yep.
And that was companion to Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we watched the BBC version of Les Mis last year, which I loved. I thought it was so good.
Yep.
Lily Collins and a bunch of other people, but it was fantastic. One that you would love, but that you did love, rather, Hatfields and McCoys.
Oh, yeah.
With Kevin Costner and...
I can't think of it.
Not Bill Pullman.
Paxton?
Bill Paxton, maybe.
Maybe.
One of them.
Can't remember.
One of the Bills.
I think it was Bill Paxton.
Can't remember. But it was very good. And he's an Australian one. I don't know if it can count because it kind of became a series. It's a series of miniseries. Underbelly.
Oh, yeah.
The first series of Underbelly about the gangland wars in the 1990s. Terrific.
Yeah.
Great series. Oh, if you haven't seen Underbelly, check it out. There's got to be a way. A funny story about Underbelly is it was illegal in Melbourne. Remember, it was illegal in Melbourne for about a decade.
Yeah.
Because the court cases were still going on when they made the show, and they put it on.
There was a court injunction on not being weren't allowed to release it in Australia
at the final hour. No, it wasn't in Australia. It was just Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. Sorry, Melbourne.
Yeah. The very last moment, the day it was supposed to go to air, there was a court injunction which stopped them from releasing it, and you couldn't get it in. You couldn't see it in Melbourne for 10 years, at least.
Yeah, that's right.
They brought it out on Blu-ray, and it could only be bought anywhere else in Australia, and it actually has a sticker on it that was not available for sale in Victoria.
Yeah, and it was illegal to bring it into Victoria.
And
yet it filtered its way across the borders and everything.
Everyone managed to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did eventually end up playing episodes maybe 3 or 4 years later, maybe a little bit earlier, and they ended up beeping out all the names of the people.
Yeah, that's right.
But they only played like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and they weren't allowed to play the rest.
Then they took it off.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to.
I think it was because it caught up to current day.
Yeah.
And that's why they took it off.
Yeah, or it caught up to whatever was in court. And it was sort of like you'd be having someone talking about, oh, you know, that guy, beep, you know, yeah, he did this. It's so funny. Just one of those weird things. But yeah, but then that's become like an anthology series over time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it
and
has.
each series is like focused on a different period of Australian crime. And each series is, never matched up to that first season of it or that first mini-series.
And I think, I think there was a couple of New Zealand series too.
One series, the Long Green Cloud or something it was called. Yeah, and they did a couple of tally movies.
But it's really funny watching that because I lived through all that.
Yeah.
And there were events in the series that I remember happening.
Yeah. Well, even me, I was a kid when a lot of it was happening, but you hear about it.
Exactly
and stuff.
right.
But then some of the other series is like set in the 60s.
Yeah.
There's some that's set like in colonial Australia. There's some which
and there was one set on a family member.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't really know it was a family member back in the time.
Yeah.
Was
back in the 40s, earlier 20s,
20s was it? Yeah.
Who turned out was some link in the family.
Turned out was secretly married to I think
someone
my
in the family.
father's auntie or something
like that.
And there's a cousin or something out there.
Some weird link. But
so it was a weird sort of link.
Underbelly, great. Anyway, that was a long answer.
Yeah,
Trying to get through this
exactly
quick.
right.
I pulled up
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton was
in
in
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
So what are we up to? Ollie Matt.
Yep.
Ollie Matt, do you think LeBron James was a good actor in Space Jam?
This is a funny thing, right? Because a lot of people have been ragging on LeBron. There've been like so many of these like reviews and stuff, which are like, oh, he's awful, he's terrible. It's like LeBron, he's not a fucking actor. He's a sportsman.
Exactly.
He's a sportsman for a reason.
Yeah.
He's not an actor.
Because he's fucking good at what he does.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He's great on the court. He's not great on the screen.
He's not meant to be an actor.
Exactly right. Same with Michael Jordan. You watch the original film, he's dreadful in it.
Yeah.
But they're not actors. No, so they don't have to be. So stop fucking watching Space Jam and going, oh, LeBron was dreadful. He was awful. He's not a fucking actor.
No.
Oh, my God.
He's not there for his acting ability.
No, exactly right.
That's because he can throw a fucking basketball through a hoop.
And talk to a couple of cartoons. Jeez.
Exactly right.
Nice.
So was he good?
He did the best he could do.
Yeah, right.
He was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Davish Sood.
Yes.
What has been the most disappointing character in the MCU? Taskmaster's definitely up there.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the reveal of Taskmaster.
Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, these are ones I wrote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yellow Jacket was the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp. No, the first Ant-Man, which was like Ant-Man with the yellow suit.
Yeah.
Fell a bit flat.
Yeah.
Crossbones is one that I was just like fucking. He was at the beginning of Civil War. You know, where they're in Lagos. I think at the beginning of the film, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, and the Falcon, and was it played by Frank Grillo? I think, and he was in the Winter Soldier, so they set up the bad guy, and then by the time he was in Civil War, he had the full-on, like, I'll put up a picture, Crossbones, Civil War. He had the full-on costume, and he's such a cool character.
Oh, yeah.
And they killed him off in, like, the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they worked up, like, this whole promotional campaign, like showing him stuff like, shit, he's going to be the bad guy. And then he just fucking died in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Just a complete waste of a really cool character.
Yeah.
And the MCU's done that a few times, actually. They brought in what looks
like a great character.
Yeah, and then they just fucking either kill it off or it's just like a fizz, a big fizzle. That one, for me, is probably the biggest one where I was like, should have done so much more with Crossbones.
Yeah. It looks like a great character.
Yeah, really cool.
A bit like, what was the one, Iron Man?
Whiplash, yeah.
What was his name? Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah.
That was a great character.
Yeah.
They could have done much more with him.
Yeah, because he's only in the Whiplash gear for like a little bit at the beginning and then...
But still a great character. And then you would sort of expect that maybe they could have carried that through a couple of films.
But then there have been a few characters like that and then they pick them back up much later. So like with the Red Skull from the first Captain America and then he come back later in Endgame or Infinity War, whatever it was, both of them. But I feel like Marvel's done that a few times where they looks like a big great character and they work him up and then it just fucking fizzles out. It's
not really MCU related, but the one for me was the Spider-Man. What's his name? The Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah.
That fell a bit flat for me.
Yeah. Those early Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Jamie Foxx, Electro, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
God, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back for Spider-Man No Way Home, whatever it's called.
We've spoken about that before, haven't we?
Multiverse, baby. Multiverse.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's all the questions we got, Dave.
That's it. So, at that, that's the end of the show. A nice 2-hour one for you guys out there. I've had a lot of messages like, I love the long shows. Gets me through my day.
We've just given you one.
Enjoy it, guys. Woo! Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Cut it out. It's enough. All right, thanks so much for listening. Podcast, of course, goes out every single Monday on all the podcasting platforms. That includes Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Audible. The visual element's available to view on YouTube. It goes out 2 days earlier to Patreon supporters. So head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month.
Cheapy. Cheap.
Worse every week. Of course, the video podcasts are now on a new channel, so you can head over to if you're on there watching, just hit subscribe. Watch as much of it as you like, because we've got to get all the stats up. You've got to get them all up.
And don't just leave it running when you're not watching it.
Not
allowed to tell you that.
Can't tell you to do that, so don't do it. You can find me
Don't
do it. You can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. There's links for all that down the bottom. If you want to write on the show, you can tune in at daveleepod@gmail.com. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating.
Only want good ones.
Yeah, because they help.
Bad ones will hunt you down.
Yeah. No, we probably won't, but we don't like them. Don't like the bad ones.
Yeah, well, you just got to be honest.
Yeah, you got to be honest. But only the good ones.
But if you don't got something good to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah. So your mother would teach you, hey?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, last week, this is the YouTube preview section of the sign out where I talk about the preview of YouTube. I just dropped my Lola Bunny cartoon evolution. It's going gangbusters at the moment. Very good. It's probably the best opening, first 12 hours of any evolution I've had for a long time.
Really?
So it's going well. Thank you, guys. Good. A lot of people, a lot of Lola Bunny fans out there.
I bet there
are a lot of Lola Bunny fans.
I wonder if Dave Field watched it yet.
Maybe, I don't know. There'll be a Space Jam Easter egg breakdown, probably already up by the time this podcast goes out. I'm working on that to get that up over the weekend. That's just passed. If you listen to the podcast. I'm going to try and get a Lola Bunny voice evolution up at some point. I've still got a bunch of voice evolutions I need to do. Now that Space Jam's out, I can finally get to them, but I have to be able to get my hands on the footage first, so might be a little while. My Turner and Hooch review dropped over the weekend, so you can check that one out. Next week, I'll be loading some interviews with the cast. Thanks to the incredible team over at Disney Plus, I got the chance to sit and chat with the entire cast, the entire main cast of Disney Plus's new Turner and Hooch series, which includes Josh Peck, who takes the lead role. So I get to speak to Josh Peck and the rest of the cast, a whole bunch of people. So we'll have a video of that interview up over the week, and next week on the podcast we'll play through the interview as well, and we'll talk about our brief thoughts on the series too, because we've seen the first 3 episodes of it. And hint, it's quite good.
It is.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it next week. If we manage to get to this Dune preview later in the week, if we're out of lockdown, we'll probably talk about that. I might talk about it on the channel if there's anything to talk about. We'll talk about that on the show next week anyway. I've also, of course, loaded a full trailer breakdown of Pixar's Turning Red last week. You can check that out too. Otherwise, there'll probably just be small videos loading throughout the week. I'm not too sure, but I'll figure it out. At that, guys, thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much, Rick, for joining me once again.
Thanks, Dave.
And we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.
Stay safe.
See you later,
Stay
guys.
isolated.
Yeah, stay safe, guys, in lockdown. Best wishes. Take it easy.
See you guys.